Booyah. And just like that, we are back in business. How are you guys doing on another lovely, wacky, wild Wake 'em Up Wednesday? I hope you guys are doing great out there because I got a great show for you. And I'm not just saying that. We're going to go back to the well with this Artemis thing. And I'm going to show you guys a few new videos that just came out. So we're going to continue to kick NASA in the balls one more week. And by next week, this Artemis story will be dead, most likely. So we're going to give our farewell ball kicking to the NASA astronauts here live tonight because they're on their way home. So I thought tonight we would bust their balls one last time before everybody forgets about this shit and we move on to the next psychological operation. All right, y'all. How is everybody doing? It's Wednesday again. Rose Bell's here. She's saying hello to other people in chat. Hi, Rose. Sunflower's here. She's saying hello to Rose. Hi, Sunflower. All right. Truth Hurts is here, and he says party time. It's Jake's World, party time, excellent. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and set the mood with some greenery in honor of the green screen fakery from NASA that's been going on. We'll start with the green screen. All right, let me make sure my watch page is on and popping, and we'll get the show started. All right. So I noticed before we got started, Big Money Bob sent 5 Jake the Awake gift memberships. So anyone out there who got a Jake the Awake gift membership, thank Big Money Bob for sending that out. And believe it or not, you guys, this might sound crazy, no pre-show super chats. So I guess that means we'll just dive right in to the first clip. I guess R.Y. is busy tonight, but Big Money Bob did come through with the 5 Jake the Awake gift memberships. So let's go ahead and get the party started. Are you guys ready to just jump right in? How about that, right? It's going to jump right in. First clip I wanted to show you guys, and there's a lot of goofy shit to go over tonight with this Artemis II crew. First clip I wanted to show was that Trump is speaking with the Artemis II crew. So we're going to watch that first, and then we'll move on to the Nutella jar and a few other things. So it's going to be a fun show. And then if we have time at the end, we'll switch subjects and maybe bust a few shills. We'll see how it goes. All right. So first clip comes from the mainstream media, and of course it's Trump supposedly speaking with the Artemis crew.
Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Jared, and you are doing a fantastic job. And hello, very special hello to Artemis II. Today you've made history and made all America really proud, incredibly proud. We have a lot of things to be proud of lately, but this is there's nothing like what you're doing, circling around the moon for the first time in more than a half a century and breaking the all-time record for the farthest distance from planet Earth. Humans have really never seen anything quite like what you're doing in a manned spacecraft. It's really special. I want to personally.
So they don't have Trump up on video so that we can see him speak. And so we just have to trust that the voice that we're hearing is most definitely coming from the president. And we know that they have the technology to take a voice sample from Trump and then have AI do a voice recording right on the spot. AI could just probably spit this out with a few prompts. But you just have to trust that it's coming from Trump, right? And since this is the government we're dealing with and NASA, you can trust everything is on the up and up.
salute and congratulate Commander Reed Weissman, Pilot Victor Glover, Mission Specialist Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen. And I also want to thank the entire amazing team at NASA, headed by Jared, who's a very special guy, by the way. And you all made this day possible, and you've really inspired the entire world. Really, everybody's watching.
Well, that's not entirely accurate, Mr. Trump, because you see here, there's a collective amount of individuals who are figuring out that space is fake as fuck. So right now, there's more and more people figuring out that space is fake as fuck. So that isn't quite accurate that the whole world is enjoying what they're seeing here. In fact, there's a lot of us who are sick of being gaslit by not only the mainstream media, but also the sheeple around us. You know, if you show the sheep a screw up, right, a glitch, something that doesn't look right, an anomaly in any of this footage, they'll claim that the conspiracy theorists who made the video edited the video, right? So now, if you try and show somebody any of the glitches, if they believe in space travel, then they're just going to say, oh, well, the person who made this video edited the video so that it looks like that. So that it looks like NASA's lying. Nate X, the original X, says, thanks for the laughs and thought-provoking stuff. Oh, well, you know, I try. And tonight, I'm going to give it the old try once again. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being a member. Nate X, the original X. Awesome. All right. So Trump goes on and on and on, but he doesn't show his face.
I find it incredible. I just watched you go to the back of the moon, and people haven't been there in a long time, we can say, but it's going to be more and more prevalent because we're going to be doing a lot of traveling, and then you're going to ultimately do the whole big trip to Mars, and that's going to be very exciting. So you look at, we had no astronaut has been to the moon since the days of Apollo program. The Apollo program was also very special, but that was 50 years ago. And at long last, America is back, and America is back in many ways stronger than ever before. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world. The Artemis crew flew in the most powerful rocket NASA has ever made, ever launched, traveled over 250,000 miles, broke the distance record set by the legendary Apollo 13. And America is a frontier nation, and the 4 brave astronauts of Artemis II are a modern day, you really are modern day pioneers, all of you. And one of them,
What did you say? Astronauts?
2 are a modern day, you really, Apollo 13. And America is a frontier nation, and the 4 brave astronauts of Artemis II are a modern day, you really are modern day pioneers, all of you. And one of them happens to be a neighbor. You know who that is, right? You have a special person over there, a neighbor, and we like our neighbor. Your mission paves the way for America's return to the lunar surface very soon. We're going all out. We're doing everything we can, and it's headed up by Jared. We'll plant our flag once again, and this time we won't just leave footprints. We'll establish a permanent presence on the moon.
Establish a permanent presence on the moon. So there you have it. Trump talking about building stuff essentially on the moon, going to establish a permanent presence, right? So remember back when people thought that like Trump was a good guy playing 5D chess? There were those, what did they call them? Quanon guys, those Quanon whack job tards. It was mostly government agents pushing a bunch of bullshit that Trump is putting on an act, and behind the scenes, he's saving the children and fighting the deep state, and he executed all the bad guys in Guantanamo. Remember all that BS? Where'd all those guys go? Are they still sticking up for Trump when he's talking about building or having a permanent presence on the moon? Where are the Quanon guys? Are they still a thing? I remember when Trump first took office as president, all the Quanon talk was like, oh, he's he's executing all the libtards behind the scenes, and then he's saving the children from the tunnels. And now here he is in the second presidency, talking about staying on the moon permanently and planting the flag once again on the moon. It's like, are you Quanon still sticking up for this guy? Is anyone still buying the Quanon talk? I hope not. JP Crucino said, hello, Sir Jake. Your recent video showing the AI fingers was some good old truth syrup starting to run for springtime. Thank you for your straight up cutting truths and golden comedy. Well, thank you, sir, Mr. JP Crucino, coming in with a super chat tonight. So, yeah, the video that I got the clip from, I want to show that to you guys tonight because I only took a few little clips from it. And I don't want anyone to think that I like edited that clip that I showed you or that I got it, you know, from like someone else who edited it. So I'm going to show you the video where I got it from so that you guys have the source. And then I'll show you exactly what section I zoomed in on to make that video. So there you go. I'm going to go over that tonight. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate that. JP Crucino. All right.
And we'll push on to Mars. That'll be very exciting. I'm waiting for that so much. I'd love to be here, but maybe we won't quite make it in terms of timing, but we will be up in the moon, and that's going to happen soon. So America will be second to none in space and everything else that we're doing, and we will continue to lead the whole thing into the stars, this incredible journey into the stars. So I just wanted, it's an honor to speak to you, and I wanted to congratulate each and every one of you. And tell me, what is the most unforgettable part of this really historic day? The whole world is watching and listening. Please tell me.
Well, before we get to that, I just want to tell you, I am so relieved, in a sense, to be back here on Earth, experiencing Earth's gravitational pull on my life. However, there was something very euphoric, atmospheric, if you will, being in the International Space Station and being able to float around in any direction, yet always feel as if I'm orientated. There was something about it that made me identify with my inner spirit animal, and I identify as a reptilian. Ha! I'm just kidding. That's just a little joke for those of you at home. But I am very, very happy to be back here on Earth, and I'm very excited to see the Artemis II crew is on their way back here now. There you go. Doxological thinker. He says it's not wonder they've all had it's not wonder they've had all the bathroom problems because they are full of shit. Can you do Russell Brand back on Earth because he's tired of space? So there you go. I did the impression first and then read the super chat second, which is probably a bad order. I probably should have read the super chat and then did the impression. But you guys still get it.
President, this call is certainly special to all of us, and we really have a lot of faith in our administrator, Jared Isaacman, who is with you. We appreciate his leadership in NASA and in the international community. We are doing great things, and we are proud to be a part of it. I have to tell you, as we came around the near side of the moon, seeing all the sights that we've seen from Earth for all of our lives, but we're seeing them from a different perspective, and then we started to get a glimpse of the and we saw sites, Oriental sites that no human has ever seen before, not even in Apollo, and that was amazing for us. And then the surprise of the day, we just came out of an eclipse where the sun, moon, and the entire dark moon, about that big, right out the window that we were watching. We could see the corona of the sun, and then we could see the planet train line up, and at Mars, and all of us commented how excited we are to watch this nation and this planet become a two-planet species.
Huh. Two-planet species. Yeah, here's what it looked like. Oh, no, wait. No. No, that's not an authentic picture. That's what it should look like. But no, people have asked, hey, where's the chemtrails? Where's the trails? How come we don't see the Earth covered in a bunch of trails from any of their photos, right? And so this is probably what it should look like. This would actually be a more accurate portrayal. Why don't they add the trails in there? It's crazy. All right. Thought I'd show you guys that one. That one's floating around on social media right now.
That is fantastic. You know, I had a decision to make in my first term, and the decision is, what are we going to do at NASA? Are we going to have it be revived, or are we going to close it down? And I had very little hesitation, and it's really great to have somebody like Jared involved, because he really makes it much easier for me. But it was not even a question in my own mind. We've spent what we had to do, and then of course we have Space Force, and Space Force is very much
Yeah, see, there you go. Direct admission that he wanted to keep NASA going. So he just admitted that he personally, it was not even a thought in his head that he wanted to keep NASA going. Pull up the words on screen here, the captions, to catch this one more time.
Or are we going to close it to do at NASA? Are we going to have it be revived, or
what are we going to do at NASA? Are we going to have it be revived, or
are we going to close it down?
Or are we going to close it down?
And I had very little hesitation, and
he had very little hesitation.
It's really great to have somebody like Jared involved, because he really makes it much easier for me. But it was not even a question in my own mind. We've spent what we had to do, and then of course
it's not a question in my own mind. We spent what we had to do. There you go, guys. Straight from the horse's mouth. You know, when you put the captions up on screen and you just go sentence by sentence, it's like, dude, this is definitely not the same Donald Trump from a bunch of years ago. This is like fucking AI Trump right here, fucking Trump recording that's stitched together, right? Like, we don't see him on screen. They're not even putting a AI video of Trump speaking or nothing. You just have to trust that that's the president of the United States speaking with people in outer fucking space, right? Isn't that crazy? And that's enough for most people, right? The people who voted for Trump, they don't think he's going to be lying about speaking with this space crew right here, right? So that means they got to be on board with the space shit, right? They can't be like, oh, I think space is fake and I voted for Trump. See? Bit of a contradiction. So that means all the Trump voters have to be on board with the fake space. Otherwise, they're directly going against their boy. So if you ever come across the Trump supporter who claims they think that space is fake, that's a direct contradiction, right? Because here Trump is saying he had a chance to take NASA down, essentially, right? To make NASA defunct, but it was no hesitation in his mind to spend what they had to spend to keep it going. Lemming in a shiny metal box says, should we blow up the moon? So check it out. The moon has craters, and the mainstream science explanation for those craters is that it comes from impacts, right? From asteroids and comets and whatnot, right? Flying rocks that bash into the moon. But check it out. You never see any new craters show up. So ever since humanity's been alive, there's never been a new crater on the moon. that's like, oh, now there's this new big ass crater because a asteroid hit, right? So they want you to believe over time the moon was pelted, the side that we're looking at, which we're supposedly tidal locked with. They want you to believe the moon got pelted over and over with rocks. And I proved it wrong a long ass time ago in a video where I shot my pellet gun into the ground a bunch of times from different angles to simulate comets and asteroids coming in. And what happens is you get dig marks in trenches more so than you get direct holes in the ground. So you don't see a bunch of dig marks and trenches on the moon. You see nothing but round holes. And I proved that when you shoot with a gun into the ground at different angles, what happens is you get all these dig marks, right? It creates like canyons and whatnot. And instead, they have all the craters as round, see? So it's proof impacts is not what's going on to create those craters. There you go. And go back and watch that video. It's in my catalog back in 2017. I'll have to show that again one of these nights. Thank you, Lemming in a shiny metal box. He says, should we blow up the moon? Sure. Actually, no. It's actually pretty cool to look at sometimes. It's pretty cool to look at sometimes. I actually think the images of the moon I see here with my own eye while I'm standing on Earth have looked better than anything that's come from Artemis. So there's not a damn thing that's come from Artemis that's looked better than what I've seen of the moon with my own two eyes. And they supposedly like have this stunning footage and stunning pictures that leave you breathless. Meanwhile, I'm like, nah. When I see the moon here on Earth with my own two eyes, when it's near the horizon and it's all big and orange and gnarly, I think that's actually more breathtaking and awesome than any of the shit that they've shown me in their fucking phony pictures. All right. There's a good rant for you.
First, we have Space Force, and Space Force is very much related to what you're doing. And that was my baby. That was a very important one. And it'll turn out to be truly one of the most.
That was my baby. Space Force. It was my baby. It was my little darling. That was my concoction. I wanted to get back to space. And of course, now that we've essentially conquered the moon, now, of course, we have to look onward to Mars. I don't know about you, but I got a freaking boner for Mars right about now. Right about now, Funk Soul Trumper. Check it out now. I'm the Funk Soul Trumper. I got a boner like you would not believe for going to Mars. That's what we're going to do next. I don't believe there's a single thing that's going to satisfy this big thumper trumper boner of mine besides going to Mars. There you go. That's what's coming up next. I spoiled it.
Most important, I believe, decisions I've ever made. So we're very proud of Space Force, and we're very proud of all of you. Does anybody else have anything to say? A lot of people listening.
Mr. President, to be here with you speaking about our incredible day today. I think one of the biggest highlights was coming back from the far side of the moon and having the first glimpses of planet Earth again after being out of communication for about 45 minutes. It really just reminds you what a special place we have and how important it is for our nation to lead and not follow in exploring deep space.
I'd like to ask, what was your feeling when you had no communication, zero communication? All of a sudden it was cut off by, obviously, your very special location. What was your feeling when you had no communication? A little bit different, perhaps.
Yes, Mr. President, it was I said a little prayer, but then I had to keep rolling. I was actually recording scientific observations of the far side of the moon. You know, that is actually the time when we were the farthest and the closest to the moon. And so we
All right. I realized when I got to ranting that I totally missed somebody's super chat. So I interrupt this Trump rant to bring you an impression coming from Sear. He wants Stallone in space trying to convince us and explain that he's not stupid to whomever you choose.
At first I thought it was exciting to be up here in space, but after a while, it starts to get to a fella, like I spent all my life, on the earth, and now to be up here, it's very aggravating, I started a year claustrophobia, you know what I mean? And I just want to go home and see Adrian, I mean, what do you want? I'm afraid at any moment I might die. I mean, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I'm afraid, all right? What, you think I'm dumb? What, you think I got no brains? I'm afraid, all right? I want to go home and see Adrian. I even miss Uncle Polly, I don't know what to do.
There you go. Whew. He's still got it.
We were really able to make some of our most detailed observations of the far side of the moon up close. And so we were busy up here working really hard. And I must say, it was actually quite nice.
Did you see a difference, a big difference between the far side of the moon and the near side of the moon? Was there a difference in feel or difference in look? What did you see?
Well, Mr. President, we certainly did, and our science team really set us up well to understand what they thought we might see. And the gravitational pull of the Earth has had a profound effect on the near side of the moon, changing all those dark mares, those dark patches of the moon you see from Earth. It's very different on the far side. While you see some small patches of those mare in deep craters, it's very much absent on that side. So that's really neat. And while I have the microphone, sir, I just want to thank you on behalf of Canada. The space leadership you spoke of from America truly is extraordinary.
All right, got a super chat coming in, or a membership chat. Says, please do Trump and Roseanne talking about this BS. All right. Let me see what I got here. In fact, I am so incredibly excited about this return trip to the moon and the fact that we're going to be planting our flag upon the moon once again, that I brought the one and only, the lovely Roseanne Barr here to tell you exactly how wonderful this moment is for not only you, but for all of humanity.
Yeah, I'm like so excited that like the first woman gets to fly by the moon. Maybe next time you'll maybe let a woman, like go out and, maybe walk on the moon like you did back in 1969. But, I guess it's pretty cool, that a black guy and a woman got to like fly by the moon, Becky, get over here. We're doing an interview right now with Trump.
All right, there you go. Roseanne and Trump. Then I got another super chat coming in from RY. He said, I'm looking forward to a sports dome on the moon. Sports dome on the moon, yes. So you spoiled the surprise, RY. I was just about to announce, not only are we going to go back to Mars, but we're going to be building the first ever lunar stadium on the moon. And we're even going to have football games and various events that are going to be held there. And we're even going to be offering giveaways and tickets to these very exclusive lunar events. However, that's going to be coming later on, 2028. Hopefully we can return back to Mars by next year. I'm really going to go all out on this space thing. All right. We're going to go full blow on this sports dome on the moon. We're going to be going back to Mars. And then next we're going to build a super Walmart on Mars. It's going to be unbelievable. All right. There you go. Now I'm getting silly with it.
I've said this many times before. A nation that leads like that and then creates and sets big goals for humanity that brings other countries along with it is truly incredible. And I know that's a very intentional, not a necessary decision, intentional decision to lead by example and to allow other countries like Canada to share our gifts and help you achieve these mutually beneficial goals, like establishing a presence on the moon and eventually going to Mars. And Canadians are so proud to be a part of this program.
I mean, at this point, if you believe this, then you deserve to be duped. This is a call for an uprising. And right now, NASA is more lazy than ever before. And that's because they're teaming up with Bill Gates right now. Bill Gates is soon going to own not only the land you stand on, but the body that you are currently inside of right now. But that is, of course, a topic for another video. Right now, the sheep, they need to wake up. We need to have an uprising, and that's what this is a call for. This is a call for an uprising. There you go. Lemming in a shiny metal box says he wants Gilbert Gottfried performing the mission launch countdown.
Oh, this is so exciting. This is my first ever rocket launch that I've been to live in person. Oh, here we go. Everybody, shut the fuck up. We're about to start. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, fucking 1, 0.
All right. There you go. Sounds about right. Oh, yeah. And as an encore,
Aflac.
thank you. Lemming in a shiny metal box with some Gilbert Gottfried action. Little Gilbert Gottfried action tonight. All right. I think Trump has one more rant that he goes on in this video, and then we'll move on to the next video.
Well, I have to say I spoke to a very special person, Wayne Gretzky, who I think you know, the great one.
Well, I just want to let you know I am the greatest president that there ever was, and I spoke to a very special person, very special boy, this fella. You know him, you love him, the wonderful Wayne Great Skate, right? Used to be one hell of a hockey player, as you know. I don't know if you guys know, but I recently had Sylvester Sly Stallone here at the White House, and I also had Gene Simon and Paul Staley from KISS. It was wonderful.
And I spoke to your prime minister and many other friends I have in Canada. They are so proud of you, and you have a lot of courage. I'm not sure if they'd want to do that. I'm not even sure if the great one would want to do that, to be honest with you. But you have a lot of courage doing what you're doing, a lot of bravery and a lot of genius. But they're very, very proud of you.
A lot of genius. Is that a line that any humans ever said? You have a lot of bravery and a lot of genius. But you have a lot of courage doing what you're doing.
A lot of bravery and a lot of
bravery and a lot of
genius.
And a lot of genius. And a lot of genius. A lot of genius. You have a lot of genius. Oh, I thank you. You also have a lot of genius. Oh, no, I don't. You're just saying that to be nice. No, I mean it. You really do have a lot of genius. Oh, well, thank you. You know who doesn't have a lot of genius? The libtards. Yeah, they don't have a lot of genius. But we, us Trump taint lickers over here on the right, we have a lot of genius. That's why we are going back to the moon. You didn't see Creepy Joe going back to the moon, did you? No, because he doesn't have a lot of genius. There you go. It's a new bit that I came up with just now.
But they're very, very proud of you.
Awkward silence. But we're very proud of you. Followed by just long, awkward silence. Gotta love it, right? This rerun of Spaceballs is very boring. We're going to move on. I just wanted to show you that they had the president supposedly talk with the crew. So we've all seen, the different videos of the crew that are floating around. But this one, you have the supposed president of the United States having a conversation with these people while they're on their way to the moon, right? So I thought we'd pick through it. And of course, we found this wonderful line about a lot of genius. So it was worth it. You guys, I gave away hours of my life so that I could find some fuck ups and some funny clips to show you guys, right? I have to suffer by ingesting this content, consuming this space drivel so that I can show you guys these funny clips. It's a hard job, man, but somebody has to do it. More awkward silence. Guys, you're on the air. Guys, say something. Somebody? Yeah, people are watching. Somebody.
Administrator Isaacman, just get a quick comm check, make sure you guys are still on the line and we didn't have a handover.
I am. Yes, I am.
This is what they showed on the mainstream news, you guys. Like, this is like CBS News, check mark, you know what I'm saying? 7 million subs. And they're putting this up like they could have edited that out. This is in their video. RY says, Jake, you missed my RFK super chat. My bad, dude. I'll go back and snag it up here real quick. All right. Here. You guys watch this for a minute while I snag his RFK super chat.
And integrity, and back over to you, Mr. President.
Yeah, I think we might have gotten cut off. It is a long distance. It's a long ways. The reception's been great. There's a little bit of about a 9-second delay, but no, I just had a statement for, I don't know what you heard, but I was just saying they're very proud of your brilliant person from Canada on the ship. And Wayne Gretzky is a great friend of mine, and he's very proud of him. And the prime minister I spoke to, they're very, very honored that you have a courageous person from Canada. You have a lot of courageous people from Canada. So it was very nice. I'm not sure if you heard me say that, but it was very nice.
Yes, Mr. President, we heard that, and we do love our Jeremy Hansen. We love all our Canadian astronauts, Jenny Gibbons, Josh Kutrick. They're just great people, and they're such a welcome addition to our Corps.
Great. Well, I really look forward to, when we can, I look forward to seeing you in the Oval Office. I'll ask Jared to bring you over, and I'll ask for your autograph, because I don't really ask for autographs much, but you deserve that. You really are something. Everybody's talking about this. And I look forward to having you in the Oval Office at the White House, and we will celebrate.
Trump wants this motherfucker's autograph. I was like, did I just hear that? Like the most arrogant, cocky son of a bitch in the world, right? The most popular person in the world just said, I want your autograph. Like, you guys understand, like in world stage kayfabe, Trump basically is like the most famous character of all, right? The most recognizable, most talked about person, arguably, right? That's why they have duplicate Trumps and AI Trumps, because he's like the most integral, famous character. And here they have him saying that he wants this other fucking astronaut's autograph. Ugh. Man, if I was a Trumper, I'd feel pretty ashamed. He wants some random ass astronaut's fucking autograph because they flew him, dude. They just killed his aura, right? He wants that motherfucker's autograph. Oh, I tell you, nobody has ever done presidenting like I am presidenting, but there is one guy who I am just a fanboy of, and that's this fella here, this astronaut. I want his autograph. All these astronauts, they're heroes. I want their autographs, all right? I want a stitch of their spacesuit, and I want to keep it as a keepsake, and it will be my most prized possession. There's not many things that I become a fanboy or a fangirl over, but this is one of those things. I'm just a fangirl boy for space. That's just one of the things I've always been fascinated about. So I'm not ashamed to tell you that I want the autograph of every Artemis II crew member, mostly the boys. All right. Oh, RY, here's your super chat that I totally forgot about. And he says, RFK Jr. tries the Artemis II space toilet and loves it. Requests NASA make him one for home use. I gotta say, the Artemis II space toilet was one of the most revolutionary toiletry systems I've ever personally used. Not only did it suck the turds that were stuck deep in my ass, it was the most effective unit in getting rid of the smell that I've ever used. So I actually had one installed in my own home for personal use. So I'm very happy, not only with the Artemis II cruise mission, but I'm also very excited about the toiletry system as well. There you go. RFK coming in with some toiletry shit. Going out. This one goes out to RY out there. I knew you were hanging around here somewhere, RY. Sorry for missing your super chat earlier, brother. All right. Yep, that's what we do around here. We laugh at how ridiculous the government's fake space videos are, and then I do impressions of random celebrities and shit, and then we move on to the next topic and do it all over again.
Celebrate your incredible achievements and triumphs. This is big. This is really big stuff. The whole world is talking about it. And if you have the time, I will certainly find the time. I've been pretty busy also, as you know, but I will absolutely find the time, and we'll get together and I'm going to be giving you a big salute on behalf of the American people and beyond that.
Thank you for that, Mr. President. And when you want us, we will be there. And thank you for your leadership. Thank you to Jared for his leadership. Really, thank you for taking the time out today to visit NASA. It's really special for us, but it's really special for the team on the ground. A whole team of people all around the world pulled this off. And we just want to say thank you to all of you for this. It is the thrill and honor of a lifetime to have been on this journey. Today was amazing, but this 3-year journey has been amazing, and it was made possible by the American people and the Canadian people. And we're so grateful to you all. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. And Jared, congratulations. We'll see you soon. And I know that you have Mars very much in your mind, so we'll start thinking about that pretty soon, I think. And
there you go. I wanted to show you guys that last line. I was waiting for it. Mars on your mind.
well, thank you very much. And Jared, congratulations. We'll see you soon. And I know that you have Mars very much in your mind, so we'll start thinking about that pretty soon, I think. And
I know you got Mars very much on your mind, so we're going to start thinking about that soon. There you go, guys. Trump talking about Mars next, right? Like, bro, your presidency's wrapping up pretty soon. Is the next liberal who's going to take over for the next 4 to 8 years, are they going to have the same plan as you? Yes, they will, oddly enough. All right, Doxological Thinker says, okay, serious question. Oh, shit, you guys. We got a motherfucking serious question right here. Whew. Hold on. Let me get serious for this. I'm getting too silly. I've been watching a bunch of dog shit that comes from the government that they call a space mission. And then, you know, I've been doing impersonations and shit. So I will admit things have been getting a little goofy and silly. But right here, we got a serious question. When humans populate the moon and Mars, will Santa still be able to deliver all the presents on time each Christmas? Well, as you know, Santa is a very magical being. He gets to deliver all of the presents to all the lucky boys and girls. And he goes either down their chimney, and if they don't have a chimney, then he picks their lock and he breaks into your house. he commits a B&E, but he leaves some gifts, if you're lucky, under your tree, and makes his way out. So I believe since he's a magical being, he's going to be able to find a way to continue what he's doing. But this is serious, you guys. I'm being serious here. The only way this story about Santa makes any sense is if he is indeed a magical being, all right? There you go. Got a serious question coming in from Doxological Thinker. Glad I was able to answer a couple serious questions tonight.
thank you. Congratulations to everybody. I'll see you at the Oval Office.
Thank you for your time, Mr. President. It's been an honor.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Ah, yes, the Easter Bunny. That one was weird when we were kids. It's like the adults talked us into it, like, because, oh, I'm going to hide an egg and then you're going to find some candy or money. So adults are the ones who dupe the kids into that whole, like, go hunt for Easter egg thing. And so when you're a kid, you associate, like, find an egg, money, and candy inside. So then you think, oh, that's a fun holiday. You know, you get a basket. If your parents are really cool, they'll give you a basket just full of, like, chocolates and shit. If your parents are really dope, they probably gave you one of those fucking gigantic bunnies that was just nothing but, like, chocolate, right? Just a gigantic ass, like, a pound of chocolate in the shape of a rabbit. Like, that was stuff that parents did back in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if they do that anymore. I think now chocolate is like made with palm oil and sucks now. But back in the day, you used to get a gigantic chocolate bunny. So yeah, Easter bunny, man. When I was a kid, I was totally on board with all that shit. And then around 6, 7 years old or whatever, you start scratching your head like, okay, a giant bunny. I'm going to keep going along with the finding the money and the candy part, but I'm pretty sure there's no fucking giant bunny, right? You catch on there's no giant bunny, but you still enjoy finding the egg with the candy and the money, right? Because if your parents were just like, oh yeah, it's Easter, this is a day where you eat rabbit, right? If they just made it about eating a rabbit, it wouldn't be as much fun for the kids. So they had to get the kids on board with the hiding of the egg and shit. Clever assholes. There you go. That's my thoughts on that. All right. Joey Anthony says, can you do fittest flat earther changing a stranded motorist's car tire while Jack Morgan watches and tries to give advice from the sidewalk? Oh man, let me see what I can conjure up here. So the Heavenly Father works in mysterious ways. As you can see, my hand is all greasy and dirty. That's because I just saved a stranded motorist. They had trouble. They've never changed a flat tire before, so I was able to step in and do my duty as a good human being and a stand-up guy. And this is just proof that if you want to be the best version of you, there's always something you can do for Heavenly Father to make yourself a better individual.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I was just watching a video from this guy, Fittest Flat Earther. We're going to get a little crazy here, all right? He was saying that David Blaine is Prince, all right? Getting a little crazy. Wow. You're going to want to take a hit, metaphorically speaking. Yeah. So this guy right here, he was just saying the other day that he thinks LeBron James is Randall Cunningham, you know, the quarterback from the Eagles. And I was telling my girlfriend, remember when we used to watch the Eagles when Randall Cunningham was the quarterback? Yeah, it's crazy, right? How time just goes by and things change. And now LeBron James is Randall Cunningham. It's crazy, right? There you go. Shocker, Fittest Flat Earther says that LeBron James is Randall Cunningham. All you sports fans out there, there's a guy claiming that LeBron James is Randall Cunningham. Yeah. We'll get to that if we have time tonight. There you go. A little Fittest Flat Earther and Jack Morgan for that ass. A little double duty for that booty. All right. RY says, can you please do a short parody of Otis Redding sitting on the dock of the bay, but somehow make it about fake outer space instead of sitting there floating? Floating up along with the sun, and I'll be floating till the morning comes. Oh, I'm floating up here in space, watching the earth drift away. I'm floating up here in space.
wasting time. Ha, ha, ha. There you go. Holy shit. I was wondering if I was going to be able to pull that off. And then I totally got a download from the computer simulation system to enable me to do it somehow. I don't know. It was weird. The ability to pull that off just got downloaded into my system. There you go, RY. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anybody's super chats because I definitely have a way of doing that. Sure enough, it looks like I might have. All right. Looks like I missed a couple that came in a few minutes ago. Let me go back and snag these real quick. Guys, take a few minutes to hit the thumbs up, everybody, right now. Let's do a thumbs up drive. If you guys are having fun so far, show some love by hooking your boy up with a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Follow your flow. I missed this super chat. It flew on by, but now I went back and retrieved it, and he says, Santa has all the genius. No. It was, you have a lot of genius. That's what it was. A lot of genius. You have a lot of genius. This guy right here, I want his autograph. This astronaut is my hero. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And I also want your autograph. And you're flying much higher than an eagle. And you are the wind beneath my wings. All right. Santa has a lot of genius. Yes, there you go. A lot of genius. Let's try and remember that Trump said that he wants some guy's autograph and a lot of genius. That's some funny shit. President of the United States. JP Crucino's out there gifting Jake the Awake memberships. Awesome. Fist bumps to you, sir. Thank you, JP Crucino. Decran 4D wants me to do Trump takes Artemis III to the moon as the first president to go to the moon. Elon Musk gives Trump his personal electric space car as a prize. So I'm very excited that I was able to make it up here to space. All right. Now, some people wonder if I was scared. I was never scared. There was never any doubt in my mind that we were going to make it out of Earth's atmosphere safely. And here we are. Just wanted to show proof. Here I am, your president, floating around in space. So just wanted to tell you that I'm going to be getting back together with Elon Musk very soon when I get back down onto the earth. We are going to be BFFs again very soon. In fact, I've arranged a meeting where he's going to come pick me up with his Tesla Cybertruck when I get back. That guy, he's a lot of genius. That Elon Musk, a lot of genius. That Elon. And it's very exciting that Trump is going to be returning here to Earth soon. That's why I'd like to personally give him his very own Cybertruck. I was told that we have a few sitting on the lot, and that as this one-time exception, we can give one as a gift to President Trump for his momentous journey to the moon. There you go. Making it happen for Decran 4D. Whew. All right. Don't let anyone tell you I'm not the hardest working comedian in the world. This is it. This is real comedy on a Wednesday night, cranking it out week after week after week after week. Go stick any supposed funny stand-up comic in this position and ask them to do a 3-hour show each week by themselves and keep everyone entertained and have fun, and they would crash and motherfucking burn. Bet your ass. Bet your ass they would. So thank you for supporting all of you guys who are here. Thank you for supporting the real deal. All right. Brian on time wants Gangster Elmo reaction to Artemis footage. Gangster Elmo. All right. And I'll pull up the, whoops, not that. That's my page. I'll pull up the next clip as well. And then I'll knock out this request. All right, so here it is.
Side.
All right. Gangster Elmo reaction to Artemis footage. All right.
Yo, Elmo think this shit fake as fuck, bruh. Elmo don't think they go to no moon. Of course, the time that they let the black man get on the rocket, they don't even land on the moon. All these white honkies trying to keep the black man down, they won't even let him walk on the moon. Fuck these motherfucking numbs, man.
There you go. Elmo, Gangster Elmo. That's his reaction to this. All right, so this footage is the source footage that I used for my video. And this one is on the Video from Space channel. It's got the check mark. 2 million subscribers. 1 million views on this footage. So this is considered a mainstream source. And so I just was watching along and trying to find glitches and stuff to use for my video, right? And I also just like to comb through the footage real quick and just see what they're doing, right? Like what sort of goofy shit they're passing off. So this video right here is Artemis II. Watch the Artemis II crew eat, work, and take a, what is it? And take a chamois bath on the way to the moon. We're going to watch them eat, work out, and take a chamois bath, y'all. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see the female strip down and take a chamois bath. Wonder if we're going to get to see that.
Inside the Orion spacecraft during some general daily activities that the crew is conducting. You heard communications with Christina Hansen. Christina calling down to Chris Birch here, our Capcom in Mission Control Houston. She continues to troubleshoot the ECG device that they are testing out. In the foreground, in the blue shirt, Commander Reed Wiseman, and next to him in the black shirt, Canadian Space Agency astronaut and mission specialist Jeremy Hansen. In the background, you're getting a look at NASA astronaut Victor Glover, pilot for the Artemis II mission, preparing to exercise. And what he is using is the flywheel device. We've discussed this a few times. This is
Houston integrity for ECG. No joy seeing the device of available devices when I attempt to repair it after doing the Bluetooth forget.
All right, guys. We're going to break down what's going on in the footage in just a second. I missed this guy's super chat earlier. And so I'm going to go ahead and knock out that super chat. And I'm going to apologize to 13 Gerino. Sorry, bro. I've went on several rants tonight, and some of these super chats flew by, and then I would read another one that comes in, and it would get lost in the mix. Keep reminding me, and I'll get to all of them. I promise. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna read your other super chat that I missed right now. It said, "Joined late. Did anyone mention the names of the two astronauts, Christina Koch and Victor Glover?" Koch Glover. Yeah, so the female is Christina Koch, and then the black guy is Danny Glover. I'm just kidding, Victor Glover. And then you got Jeremy Hansen, and then some other fucking cocksucker. There you go. Sorry I missed your other super chat earlier. My bad, brother. All right, then I got that one. Okay.
Okay, Christina, unfortunately, we are out of ideas at the moment. We're going to do some more thinking. We really appreciate all of your troubleshooting steps and actions you've taken. Great data for us, but we'll move on from this activity for the day. Thank you.
Copy all. I will keep the medical tablet charging and restow everything. Thanks for the help.
Copy all.
All right, so you guys can see they got everyone looking busy. They got black guy in the background doing a workout routine, right? He was back here working out. So I was looking for like glitches and anomalies, and his back was getting all like pixelated and blurry, but I was looking for something definitive. So I was just kind of staring at each person while they pretended to be busy, workout and stuff, right? All right. Got a super chat that came in earlier from Stormtroop 369, and he says, Richie from Boston gets permission to have his Forerunner taken to the moon.
You guys are not going to believe this, but my overlander is literally going to be the first overlander that's ever going to land on the surface of the moon. Now, I know there are people out there that don't believe in the moon landing, but here's the deal. The original moon landings back in 1969 in the early 70s, those ones were fake. But these new ones are totally real, all right? You can trust me. My overlander is definitely going to be on the moon very soon. And I'm going to do a live stream while I'm there. So you're going to know for sure that this is for real this time, all right? And, of course, I'm going to be taking a huge supply of my Chinese nanobot defense juice known as organic Bible vape juice, of course. This is the only vape juice that alleviates your anus of the Chinese nano drones, but that's neither here nor there. This is Richie from Boston. I want you to like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out.
There you go. Richie from Bostonia coming in. Thank you again from Stormtroop for the donation earlier. And I also got one coming from RY. Led Zeppelin parody of whole lot of genius. Got a whole lot of genius. Got a whole lot of genius. Got a whole lot of genius. Oh, oh, oh. Got a whole lot of genius. No. Got a whole lot of genius. No. Oh, oh, oh. All I ask for when I pray, steady loaded woman won't come my way. No. All right. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of this time I got confused why all that he would ask for when he prayed. is that a steady loaded woman won't come his way. Out of all the things that you could ask for when you pray, seems like that shouldn't be one of them. Anyway, there you go. It's ridiculous. That's all he asks for when he prays? Out of all the things one could ask for. All right. Davey D says 400 plus in the chat. Smash the thumbs up button. Thank you very much, Davey D, coming in with a promotional super chat, asking everyone to do the kind deed of smashing the thumbs up button. That would be awesome. Go ahead and do that now. And Davey D, thumbs up to you, bro. And I'll help you get your situation figured out, how you can get monetized on your channel and stuff, bro. So I'll help you get that shit figured out, man. I saw you were having some trouble with that the other night. So I'll help you figure that out if you need some help. Lady D with a super chat. She says, did you catch the 4 pods that ejected from the tower rock right at takeoff? By the way, thank you for keeping me in stitches, especially last your destruction of Fittest Flat Earther. Greetings to Ralphie. Cheers. In the last live stream, at the very beginning of the stream, I showed the pods supposedly escaping. But here's my thing. When I showed that clip, I told everybody we aren't seeing proof that the astronauts escaped because we don't see the astronauts on board. So all we do is see some cart-looking thing appear to go in the opposite direction of the rocket taking off. And so rather than assume that the crew was on there, I don't think that the crew was on the rocket. So I don't think they would be on the escape pod either. So I have to assume that the escape pod thing might be like conspiracy bait. Like maybe they want us to say that the crew escaped on that. Whereas I don't think the crew was on the rocket or the escape pod. And I already know the mainstream media and NASA could just easily say they were testing their escape pod for the next launch. And that would be a solid excuse that every sheep would eat up in a second, right? So anyone who points to that, it's like all they have to do is be like, yeah, we were testing the escape pod for the next launch if they wanted to, right? They could just pull that excuse out of their ass. And so we don't see the crew on the escape pod. And so I didn't use that as evidence, right? It's not really evidence of anything, but I did show it in my last live stream. So I know what you're talking about. And I did see several other people make videos showing that. So thank you, Lady D, for your very generous super chat coming in. And I'm glad you appreciate the destruction of Fittest Flat Earther. And if you stick around, once we get through the space shit, the Artemis clips, I might be able to do a quick breakdown of Fittest Flat Earther's latest video about LeBron James being 80s quarterback Randall Cunningham, which is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. So if you stick around, I'll try and fit that in tonight just for you. All right. Awesome. Thank you for the super chats tonight, you guys. And I'm sure I probably missed one or two, and I'll catch up on those as well. D-Cran says, let's help get this channel to 100,000 subs. Let's do. You know what's funny is, well, it's not that funny, but it kind of sucks, actually. They steal the subs away every time I stream. So every time I live stream, I lose like 15, 20 subs, like every time. And then the next video that does well, I'll gain a little bit. So I gained, according to YouTube, like 75 subs when I made the video exposing Fittest Flat Earther. But then the very next stream, like they just steal 15, 20 subs away. So it's like saw teeth when you look at my subscriber count. So the only time the subscriber count really grows well is during football season. I'm able to overcome the algorithm holding me down and the subs being stolen away and people being unsubbed and all that. I'm able to overcome it for like 4 months out of the year while I talk about football being fake. So during that time period, the channel subscriber count goes up. And then during this time of year, it just like flatlines. And I can't really get it to go up hardly at all. So it might take, what I'm getting at is it might take a year or two to finally get there. But we're on our way. We're working our way slowly to 100K. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a video go viral out of nowhere and I can get like 5,000-6,000 subs real quick and boom, and then I'm there. All right. Brian says, NASA Satan, that would make a great t-shirt. NASA equals Satan, that would make a great t-shirt. Good idea. Might have to steal that one. All right. Thank you, Brian, on time.
Again, those calls from Christina down to the ground as she troubleshoots that ECG device, the BME, or biomedical engineer, here in Mission Control Houston, working with their teams to continue developing procedures to help the crew troubleshoot. Back inside Orion, Victor Glover is in his timelined exercise for the day. On the flywheel device, this is a small device installed directly below the side.
See how they're like keeping everyone busy? So they have the girls not in the frame. She must be taking a space shit. Right? She must be in the space toilet right now, taking a number 3. And then you got homeboy back here, the black guy with the body that looks like he works out. Of course, he has to be working out. And then you got this guy fiddling with something in a bag. And then the guy in the corner, he's like back here fiddling with something as well. So they make sure to keep everyone busy so that they're not just like, right? You know, this is what it would look like for real. Everybody would just be like this. Oh, yeah. Houston. Yeah, we're just waiting to get to the moon. Just killing time, right? That's what they would really be doing. But instead, they have to make it look like they're busy. Look how busy everyone is. Black guy working out. This guy's got a bag. This guy's down here doing some important work. Of course, right? So I had to sift through all this boring footage to find the juicy mess ups. And I'm going to show you guys. I have the timestamps for this specific video to show you where I found them. So if you guys want to go back and show anybody the source footage, because I noticed if you show somebody my video showing NASA fucking up, right, a NASA blooper, then they'll say that I edited the video to make it look that way. So I want to show you guys where I found the clips that I used to make my last video so that you guys have the source footage, right? So that nobody thinks I edited any of their footage. RY says, land on the moon guy talks about 49ers while in space. I was one of the lucky ones who won a sweepstakes to go to the moon. And I am the first convenience store owner to be this close to the moon. Now this time, I'm not going to land on the moon, not going to land on the moon. But I am going to do a flyby of the moon, my friend. And the next time we will come back soon. Let me tell you, when the LUNAR Stadium is built on the moon, I can't wait to go to the first 49ers game that is played on the moon. It is going to be an exuberating experience to watch my favorite football team play on the lunar surface. Now, I'm going to have a top-of-the-line spacesuit, my friend, because I do not want my spacesuit to rupture while I'm trying to enjoy the game of my lifetime. All right. It's getting ridiculous. Wow. There you go. Going for it tonight. Hooking you guys up. All right. So at the 3-minute mark, 3 minutes and 20 seconds, we get the first glitch that I found that I wanted to put in my video.
Hatch. So if you look above where his feet are, that is the side hatch of Orion. The flywheel is a cable-based device, so you can use it for either aerobic exercises like rowing or resistance workouts like squats and deadlifts. And today, Glover is timelined to do resistive workouts. It can max out at 400 pounds of resistance.
Here it comes
This
right
view
here.
really gives a great look inside.
So this is it right here. His hand right here. This is where I took the clip from. I zoomed in on this portion right here. Check it out. I'll show you frame by frame. See his hand over here? That's where it blows up. Looks like a glove full of air. You guys seeing this? And then you see the fingers do some funkiness right here. Whoa, like this finger right here. What in the hell's going on here? I'm just going frame by frame. And then last but not least, you get the magic Pinocchio pointer finger. What do I mean by that? Well, when you lie, the pointer finger magically grows like Pinocchio's nose. Whoa! See this? So it happens really fast, but this is where I found it right here. The clip from my video, my last video. And of course I had it zoomed in. I blew it up, right? I can even show that next. So that way, if anyone wonders like where I got these clips or whatever, I got it from their footage, right? So I ain't trying to manipulate their footage. I'm trying to find their bloopers and mess ups so that I can just show you guys, right? So it happens quick, but if you slow it down, that's when you can find the anomalies. All right. I know I missed a few super chats. Let me knock those out. All right. RY says, oh, wait, I totally got that one. Okay.
Again, you're looking at 330 cubic feet habitable volume, so about the size of 2 minivans inside. The crew obviously did not launch in Orion in this configuration. They have since been able to stow quite a lot of the hardware that was used during the launch portion. That gives them more space to move about the cabin.
All right, how awkward was that? Look at this. Look at this shot right here. Look at this. Oh, you know, they're up there black guys over there working out, and this astronaut's sucking this astronaut off right here. Clearly, they're staying busy while they're up there, right? Here you get the nice shot of the moon. Look at this detailed picture of the moon you got here, y'all. Wow, that's the best looking picture of the moon I have ever seen. I'm stunned. My breath is taken away by this moon picture.
And Chris, if it helps you, Victor and I have both exercised, so he is more than happy to do the.
All right. Now we're going to get to the next portion where they are eating, or one guy at least is eating, and he starts using a spoon to try and scoop something out of a pouch. I'll show you guys. It's almost like they had AI screw up and add a spoon to the eating situation where it doesn't belong. I'm going to get to that next. But RY says, Jake, you missed this one earlier. Can you please explain why these astronauts always seem to have their hands folded? This seems unnatural to me. So I have actually made videos about that, showing that they all the time are doing that they do this hand thing. And so I think they have like some sort of overlay that can go over their hands. And so I can't give you an exact reason because I'm not the one doing it. But yeah, I've made videos showing that a lot of the astronauts will do this, right? Or this. But this one's common, right? And so there's something up with their hands. It's like they have an overlay or something that goes over their hands. And so perhaps when they keep them folded, that's like in off position, right? Like we want you to go to this position when you're not trying to touch the virtual object. And then when you are going to touch the virtual object, right? That's when you do it and then go right back to this again, right? So I can't tell you for sure exactly why they do that, but I actually have made videos about that exact thing. I don't want to have to scroll back right now, but I'm sure Holden or somebody, if they wanted to, could probably locate that. That's probably from like, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I actually have a video about them, you know, all making that. And I showed tons of different clips of all the astronauts doing it. Like all the different people who were on the International Space Station were all doing that same shit. So it wasn't just like one astronaut does it or two or 5. It's like a shitload of them do it. There you go. And it looks like one just came in from I'm Rigged. He says, can you review a Max Egan short and review him while imitating him in the space station? A Max Egan short? All right, 1 second. Now I got to like pull that up. All right, got it.
Like 4 years old, and my mother had taken me up to the forest for the first time, to the national park, and I loved it. I thought, this is incredible. And as we were leaving that day, I said to my mother, hey, Mum, let's come and live here. And she said, why? And I said, well, it's so much better than down in town. And she said, well, we can't live here. And I said, why not? Nobody else lives here.
So that's why I think humans should go to space. Nobody else lives there. So that's why humanity's returning to the moon. That's why I'm up here now. We're going to be building homes for people to live. Much cheaper. It's going to be much cheaper than down there on Earth. It's a good thing. Next, we're going to go to Mars right after we get done colonizing the moon. So it's quite a wonderful achievement right now to be up here. I remember when I was younger, I'd go on a walk at the park with my ma. I'd stare up at the moon. And to be up here now, this close to the moon, it's a feeling that I can't describe. There you go. There you go. Had to pull that one out of my ass real quick as a request for I'm Rigged. Got a Love World Peace, says Elon sucks off Stephen Hawking. This is one of the greatest achievements of Stephen Hawking's life. This is probably the most important achievement that humanity has ever witnessed. What you're seeing right now is a very brilliant man who's giving me sexual gratification. And it's almost as good as President Trump, but not quite. There you go. That was weird, wasn't it? Hey, this guy's the weirdo who wanted me to do that. I'm not a weirdo for doing it for money, okay? The guy who wants me to do it and sends me the money with the pyramid, he's the weirdo. Just kidding, bro. That's part of the bit. I continue the joke and call you a weirdo, but I'm just kidding. But the pyramid is a little questionable, pal. All right. Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years coming in with a super sticker. Kevin Arnold used to live across the street from Winnie Cooper. She would always cheat on him with those other dudes. And Kevin would be like, Winnie, I saw you kissing that other guy. Do you want to be with me? Or do you want to be with him? And she'd be like, Kevin, I don't know. Winnie, what does that even mean? I don't know. Right? Now it's like every episode. Tune in next week. Maybe Winnie will have made up her mind whether she wants to continue fucking Chad on the football team or whether she wants little lame ass Kevin Arnold, right? Man, you have to be old to understand that reference. Love World Peace Nearing loves it. Hey, Mikey, I think he loves it. All right. I get everyone's super chat. I hope so. All right. Fist bumps. All right. So let's get back to the space video. We're going to watch some space eating. This is where I found another blooper. At least I thought it was. Looked like almost like a AI version of this astronaut here. Very strange, the eating that goes on here. So check it out. Homeboy's got a spoon and he's got a pouch. We don't know exactly what food he has. We're not told this information, but we can assume he's got some food pouch here and he's got a spoon. So the first question I was like, is this guy going to try and spoon out something out of this package? Because that doesn't make sense. Like, aren't you just supposed to like squirt whatever liquid or food is in there into your mouth, right? Finger fuck it out of the pouch into your mouth. Like if it's chunks of food, don't you just squeeze it and mess with it with your fingers until it just comes out of like a little spout or whatever, right? So when I see him with the spoon, I'm like, what do you spoon out of there? How's that going to work? Let's
The S-band SATMO DFTO on time.
Thanks, Reed. Just talking down here with the team to make sure I got the right words to give you. We'd like that S-band SATMO DFTO to slide 30 minutes to the right for some ground config.
I got a super chat from QWERTY True Q71. And he says, they always have a woman with long hair in space to show off that zero gravity. You'd think they would cut it if you were really going to fake space. Yeah, you'd think they'd make them like wear a hairnet or like get a haircut or whatever, because it might be a safety hazard to get gobs of hair stuck in the circuitry or whatever. Yeah. But no, they always have the lady with the flowing hair there to show you they're really definitely in space. And so it almost looks like in some shots like an added hair effect, almost like they have this like added like piece of hair, making it look like it's stuck to her head. It's very strange, especially this footage. Out of all the videos I looked at, this one has some of the most obvious bloopers and screw ups. All right. Thank you, QWERTY True Q, coming in with a super chat.
But then the EMERCOM DFTO will stay where it is.
Okay, that sounds good. Ike will be ready 30 late for S-band SATMO, but if you could also please give us a heads up when your commanding is done and you're ready for that activity, that would help us out.
Absolutely, Wilco. The other thing we want to remind you is that in your midday meal, we have about a 1 hour forward DSN LOS. But for most of that, we've got returns. And kind of in the middle of your midday meal period, you'll notice there's, like I mentioned, this good Earth and Moon viewing positions. It's also roughly when you're going to pass close to the halfway point between the Earth and the Moon, and you can reference your altitude on the PFD for that midway point.
Yeah, crazy that we're seeing 105,205 miles, and it's still going up pretty quick. Thanks for all that, Chris.
Great. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy your lunch.
All right, so that's when I started noticing some funky stuff with Homeboy. Look, he sticks the spoon in the pouch, but like, what are you spooning out if it's in a pouch, right? Anything that comes out is gonna like start flying away. So I was like, why in the hell is this guy using a spoon and then trying to stick it in that pouch? That doesn't make sense. Like, I'm gonna take away the sound and we'll just watch what he does with the spoon here. Oh yeah, got this spoon here, and he has it upside down in his hand while he has the bag. And it looks like he takes the top of the pouch and sticks it inside. So it's like, what did he really eat? What kind of space food was that? Here it is. This is a better shot. So he sticks the spoon in there. Like, what are you even eating, dude? And this is when I started to notice his mouth was moving funky. So I started to notice like the way his chin was moving, and the way his hands were moving. It just all started to look funky. So I started paying closer attention to that guy. It was at this point right here that I found the clip that I used in my video as well, where where it looks like he's eating something. So check this out. The black guy in the background takes off his shirt. Here, let me back it up. So the black dude in the background here, he's going to strip off his shirt. And then this guy right here is eating something. And just the way his chin and mouth move totally looks AI. Just looks really weird. So pay attention right here. Don't pay attention to the stripping black man in the background. Just look at right here on his chin. It's like he takes this bite of this food. And then his chin does this weird glitch out thing right here. It's all pixelated. So I blew up this section of his face to show that there's a definitive pixelated line between his face and his shirt. And his chin is like moving and morphing. And so you can't see it that well if you just look at this footage right here. But if you zoom in on this section, that's when you see it. So this is another section I took from this video. And then he sticks the spoon in there again. So weird. Like, what are you getting out of there, dude? And then this part I thought was pretty weird. The black guy like starts cleaning in between his toes. So they have the black dude get down to his shorts and start cleaning his toes right next to this guy who's eating. See? Homeboy's going to clean his toes in the back. Just another day in space. You're going to suck some mystery space food out of a pouch while some black guy cleans his toes right next to you. Of course. This is how it's done. All right. D-Cran says, black dude on board. It's just a flyby. Yeah, you know. I got blackballed from Oprah. They was trying to say I wasn't trying to be serious about going to the moon. Man, they don't know nothing. I'm like a free thinker. And I was talking about how, shoot, I thought maybe they might have faked a moon landing. Know what I'm saying? And they was like, what? And I was like, yeah. And they was like, fuck you. And I was like, what? And they was like, you heard me. And I was like, oh, it's like that, huh? That's when I was like, I'm out. Know what I'm saying? There you go. That's what Ice Cube would say about that. All right. So here's this footage that I used to make my video. But I didn't include the black guy cleaning his toes. I wanted to save that for you guys here live. So I saved this specifically to show you guys that this is what happens on the way to the moon. This is how you know they're up there for real.
Spacecraft.
guy coming in with a super chat request said, Jim Brewer talks live from Earth to Artemis II space crew while they're in space. Jim thinks he's actually funny. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not going to do what you guys think I'm going to do, man. Flip out, man. All I want to know is who wants to go to the moon with me, man? Who's going, man? Yo, I'm like, fully like, so disappointed I wasn't able to go to the moon with you guys, man. But one of these days, man, I'm going to the moon. Me and my wife, we were walking to the airport. We were walking along, and then we saw a Cinnabon man. My wife, oh, I got Cinnabons. We started getting Cinnabon man. All right, you're never gonna believe this. We got to our gate, and they said, we're gonna have to demote you from first class down to coach. And I was like, You're telling me, hold on. You're telling me that I had a first class ticket, man. First class. You want me to sit and coach? I started to freak out. I'm not gonna do what you think I'm gonna do. Flip out. Or am I, man? All right. There you go. I think I was supposed to have him try and talk to the Artemis crew, but then I went into that bit where he told the long, terrible story about how he had his first class ticket demoted to a coach ticket. So I think I went into that spiel and I totally ditched your your comedic request direction. So I didn't quite follow directions perfectly, but I think that's still pretty good. Pretty good. It'll have to do. All right. QWERTY True Q says maybe they will blame Iran if it goes wrong. Also ever notice they are always happy and content. Wouldn't you be a bit nervous? Bro, I've brought that up 1,000 times, right? So happy. I've been up here for 48 hours watching a black guy work out and clean his toes. And I'm just having so much fun twirling this object. I mean, look. Woo! And then I just got done using the space toilet. So much fun to have the shit sucked right out of your ass. Yeah, totally. I've pointed that out for years, right? Years ago, I pointed out how the people on the International Space Station way too excited and happy looking. Like they have a permanent grin on their face, yet they've been up there for weeks. Yeah, right. They never have someone like, it's fucking lame up here. I'm tired of it. I want to come home. To be honest, I don't even want to do this interview right now. It sucks. I never should have came up here. That would be more believable, but they have to make it look like it's fun. They're up there having the time of their life, right? Space may be the final frontier, and it's also super fun as fuck. That's what they want you to believe. Brewer blows Neil deGrasse Tyson. Fully, man. Not gonna do what you think I'm gonna do. Whoa, Jim. Ooh, Jim. I never knew you cared so much. Ooh. There you go. You got a quick one. It happened really quick. Neil deGrasse Tyson nuts quickly, apparently. Right? Neil deGrasse Tyson does not last long, is what what that impression tells you. Holden says, new impression, Fred and Esther, please, I found RY link. Fred and Esther, you want to do the new impression or you want me to do an impression? Oh, he's got a link up on screen. All right, let me see if I can get this figured out real quick. On. Oh, God, Holden. What in the hell?
Yeah. I ain't asked you over here to borrow no money. If I wanted some money, I'd ask you over the phone.
Hello there, Honest.
Hello, Lamont.
Hey, Pop, I got to make a few pickups on the truck. I'll be right back.
Okay, son. Take it easy, son. And be careful, son. Bye, son.
All right, son. Take it easy, son. This is what you want, Holden? You want me to talk like this old-ass black man? That what you think gonna be funny? You want me to talk like an old black man? There you go. There you go, young crack-ass motherfucker. Talking like an old-ass black man.
Okay, I'm also going to be an old black lady too, I guess.
There you go. That make you happy, Holden? Got my ass talking like an old-ass black man right now. Holden, you lucky I'm a funny motherfucker. I can make everybody laugh talk about this stupid motherfucking shit. Holden, I love you, man. Go to sleep. All right. There you go. Had to hook up my buddy Holden there with a funny impression that he'll remember for the rest of his life for his very unique request. Hey, everybody's got a different idea of what this show should be, right? And so to some people, the impressions are their favorite part. Other people like to see me go after the shills. Other people like to see me talk about fake football. You know what I mean? So everybody comes here, and maybe people have a different reason for liking this content, but I'm just glad I can bring y'all underneath the same umbrella here, and I try my best to keep everyone happy. I really do. I try and do the best I can to keep each of the different types of subscribers I have all pleased and entertained, and it's a very challenging job, but I enjoy the ever-living shit out of it. So thank you guys for hanging out with me here. And you know what? I got plenty more for you where that came from. So with that said, let's get on to the Nutella video, right? The Nutella stuff is quick. I'm sure you guys might have heard word that there was an infamous Nutella jar that floated inside the space capsule. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that next. Little Nutella action for that ass. I know you want it.
A little more detailed. Reed Wiseman and Jeremy Hansen will be up first to capture.
There it is. And this is real footage, you guys. According to the government. This is not like a fake product placement by Nutella. That actually is a real jar of Nutella floating around inside the Artemis II spacecraft.
Imagery and record audio on the portable computer.
According to them. I don't believe that horse shit, but that's their claim.
Computing devices. You hear those referred to as PCDs, while Victor, to get a little more detailed, Reed Wiseman and Jeremy Hansen will be up first to capture imagery and record audio on the portable computing. To get a little more detailed, Reed Wiseman and Jeremy Hansen will be up first to capture imagery and record audio on the portable computing devices. You hear those referred to as PCDs, while Victor, to get a little more.
Yeah, see, this next super chat is another case of me making content about it. So I totally remember. I made content specifically making fun of that piece of shit and his terrible acting job. I covered all of the Blue Origin launches that had the supposed celebrities on board. I've showed footage of all those. I've either made a video about it or done a live stream or did both. So yes, I totally remember. Whenever something super fake goes on with outer space, that's like right up my alley. That's my bread and butter. So I love when like Blue Origin thinks they're going to send Katy Perry or whatever shitty celebrity to space, because I know that means I'm going to be able to make some easy content, right? And I'm going to get a boost in viewership. I'm going to be able to make money pointing out the obvious fakery, which is always fun. So yeah, man, this is right up my alley. So whenever NASA is at the forefront of the fake news, I'm like, cool, made my job much easier. And right now I'm experiencing a bit of a boost in viewership on the streams lately because of this space fakery being so popular right now. So good times, right? Thank you for the super chat, sir. I appreciate that. All right, so there's the Nutella in space. And then the mainstream news authenticated this story. So all the mainstream outlets are running with the story that that Nutella actually was in space. Let me go to the next report that talks about the Nutella.
Artemis II astronauts completing the first of 3 trajectory burns. That's like tapping the gas on the car to put you in the right lane as the crew now speeds back to Earth.
We just went sci-fi.
Stunning images captured by the record-setting astronauts who spent about 7 hours circling the moon with high-resolution cameras.
Okay, science, we're getting set up for sunrise.
Most notable images dubbed EarthSat, where we can now see the Earth below the moon's horizon, captured through the spacecraft window during the flyby of the moon.
This continues to be unreal. The sun has gone behind the moon.
As the astronauts were amazed by the moon eclipsing the sun from space on Monday evening.
It is.
They were amazed by this, you guys. And I see I've missed like 3 or 4 super chats. I'm going to read them all in a chunk. I just wanted to show some of this next video. So they're calling this stunning. So they put the word stunning. They tell you it's stunning. It's not fucking stunning. It's not stunning. The moon looks way better from here on Earth with my own 2 eyes when it gets close to the horizon and it gets all orange and gnarly. On a full moon, when the moon turns all orange, when it gets near the horizon, that's when it's the best. If you're on the beach on the West Coast and you have that full moon that sets and gets all orange and crazy looking like a jack-o'-lantern, that's the best. Way better than this. So they tell you it's stunning, but it's not stunning. So they're trying to trick you into thinking that this boring ass picture of mainly just a black circle and a little bit of gray shading, they're trying to trick you into thinking that that's stunning, right? They could use that same picture and say that that's a black hole and the sheep would fucking believe it, right? All right, now let me go back and get a whole slew of super chats that I missed, and we'll knock out the rest of this video. All right, so I missed one from Love World Peace. Said, thanks, you're a great sport. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. I appreciate the multiple super chats that have come in from you tonight, sir. Much love going out to Love World Peace. RY says, I think Holden meant to send you the one about the astronaut's hands. Well, it's an old ass video. And so I have all these other videos to show tonight. So if he posted the link, that's for you to click and watch, right? I'll have to show their hands on another. That's an old ass video that I already did a long time ago. So I want to keep it fresh and new, right? I don't want to have to go back and show old videos that the hardcores remember me doing from 4 or 5 years ago. So if he posted the link, that's for you to go back and check out. All right. I got that one. All right. RY says, got this. Eating food while cleaning your toes is totally natural. The bacteria from the toes is essential nutrients. Anyone who tells you that eating food near someone who is cleaning their feet or toes is somehow gross, they are extremely unnatural, because everybody knows out in nature, you will eat food wherever you want to eat food. And it would not make a difference if someone near you was cleaning their feet or having sexual intercourse or taking a giant shit. It would not matter, because that, of course, is part of your natural daily life. So therefore, it is extremely natural to eat food near someone who might be cleaning their toes, for instance. And of course, the bacteria from the toes, if it was to migrate somehow to your food, it would actually be more beneficial to your digestive system, because all bacteria is, of course, good bacteria. And there is no such thing as bad bacteria. There you go. Knocking them out. Lemming in a shiny metal box says, Jeranism airing personal grievance during the rocket launch. You guys, my life has literally been ruined ever since I went to Antarctica. And I went there for the truth. And you know what I found out? Nobody cares about the truth. That's right. That's why you see everyone right now online calling themselves truthers. They're lying. You guys, I went with Will Duffy and MC Toon to Antarctica. They're totally trustworthy. And we were totally transparent. And we showed that the sun did a 360 over our heads. That's proof that the earth can't be flat. All of my audience, they turned on me. You guys, I'm not a liar. I'm a truther. I'm actually the only real truther on YouTube. And my audience abandoned me. So I had to go back and get a regular job. So thanks, you guys. Thanks for not supporting the real truther who went to Antarctica and figured out that the earth can't be flat. Yeah, I had to go back to CVS. Yeah. I just worked a shift last night, you guys. If you think the rocket launch is fake, you are retarded. You probably watched Fittest Flat Earther. All right, there you go. There's Jeranism throwing a... That's about what he sounds like these days. That's about what's going on Jaren's channel. Not much more other than that, over and over and over again. Bob Lines says, Jake, what is your opinion as to why the two main current events at the same time? That woman sounds like an AI office clown. So they need a new age brainwashing event, because a lot of us weren't alive for the original moon landings back in 69 and the early 70s. So they need a modern day mass brainwashing event equal to what they did in the Apollo missions for all of us who weren't alive back then. And so the one thing that they did do was be real lazy. So they decided to have this mass brainwashing event for the new generation, but they're not going to actually land on the moon this time. So they cut out the whole landing on the moon part. They're supposedly saving that for next time in the very near future. So, yeah, it's just part of the same routine. They had to brainwash, people back in the 60s and 70s with this mass brainwashing event, which was the moon landings. And so then they waited 50 whatever years, and now they're doing it again. So they're just repeating the same brainwashing routine, right? So the people who script the news can script stuff years in advance, decades in advance. And so they're probably going to rerun some of the same shit that worked for them in the past. They most definitely are going to rerun a lot of the same ideas that worked for them in the past. And so they got fake war, fake space there for you, right? Fake war is boring. A lot of us don't give a fuck about the war because it's not going on in front of our face. None of the buildings outside where we live are being blown up. So we don't really give a shit about the war. Even people who believe in it don't really give a shit. So then they got to be able to at least keep your mind in the realm of impossibility. They want to make sure that, like, if you believe in space and dinosaurs and evolution and this whole construct that is for sure not true, then they at least know they got your mind under control. They know you're not thinking too far out of the box. So as long as they can keep you believing in fake space, they don't view you as any sort of a threat at thinking outside the box, right? And so they don't want people to wake up and realize how badly they're being fucked. And so if they can keep you distracted with these supposed stunning images of the moon, while at the same time we're supposedly in a deadly war with a terrible enemy, just another day keeping you distracted. That's all it is. Just another day keeping the sheep distracted. They'll have a new story for us next week. This Artemis II thing will be all over, and they'll have something else for us to bitch and moan and complain about and be distracted by. I'm Rigged said it's making the one eye. Oh, yeah. The stunning image from Artemis II. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so stunned. I'm just leaving it up here. I'm going to stun all you guys. I'm sure all of you right now looking at this fucking black circle with a little bit of gray shading. I know it's stunning you. It's going to sit here and stun all you mofos with this. That's right. In fact, I know you guys are enjoying it so much, sitting here being stunned. I'm just going to run 24-hour footage of this stunning image looped, right? I'm sure I'm going to get more views if I just take myself out of the equation, show this, and then just put live stunning images of moon. I'll probably get way more viewers than me sitting here telling you how fake it is. I'd probably make way more money too. You guys are lucky I have integrity, because I'm sure a 24-hour live stream with a clever title, clickbait title, saying live footage, stunning images of the moon from Artemis II. I'll bet you I could get like 10,000 people watching at once talking about how beautiful it is. But then when you stick my face up here, start talking about how phony it is, well, then we only end up with like 400 people watching. That's how it works. Conolingus says, love your stuff, Jake. Keep it up. Hey, I got no choice but to keep it up, man. I don't think I have any other skills anymore besides this, right? All my other skills besides talking about how fake shit is have eroded away. So this is the only thing left that I'm good at anymore. So I better keep it up, right? Can't stop, won't stop. Bob Line says, what is your opinion? Oh, wait, I already read that one. My bad. Okay. Back to the video.
Amazed by the moon eclipsing the sun from space on Monday evening.
It is absolutely spectacular, surreal.
As the sun slipped behind the moon, it put the crew in darkness for a full 54 minutes. So, of course, you take a selfie while wearing your solar protective glasses.
The shadowy black and white images were cool, but so were those high-res images. Every image from Artemis II, incredible. But there's one that caught a lot of people's attention. Watch the crew reaching zero gravity, which is amazing on its own. But do you notice anything in this picture that seems out of place?
Right.
It's a Nutella photobomb. And whoever brought that on board is my spirit animal. Saying in a post on X, Nutella said,
whoever brought that on board is my spirit animal. Oh, the news is so cringy sometimes.
But do you notice anything in this picture that seems out of place?
Right.
It's a Nutella photobomb. And whoever brought that on board is my spirit animal.
I'm the crazy cuckoo conspiracy theorist because I don't believe that a fucking jar of Nutella is floating around in space and it's not my spirit animal. Furthermore, the question has probably been asked by at least a few. Who is sending this Nutella bottle towards the astronauts in this footage? Because here's it, all 4 astronauts, 1, 2, 3, 4. None of them are handling the Nutella. So what's causing the Nutella to go towards the astronauts? Is there a 5th person that we're not being shown? Is there a 5th person off camera throwing the Nutella? So somehow the Nutella is heading towards the astronauts in this shot. I'll bet you if you asked a sheep to explain that, they'll be like, it was just bouncing around. The Nutella was bouncing around and it just happened to bounce towards the astronauts, right? All right. So there you guys go. My spirit animal is the person who brought the Nutella jar. Says the fucking guy on the news. And that's the same news that the sheep will watch. And I'm the crazy conspiracy cuckoo who doesn't think that there's Nutella in space. Don't you love it? Don't you love being the crazy cuckoo who doesn't think that there's Nutella floating in space? So you get to be gaslit the fuck out of by the mainstream media and by the sheeple around you. All right. I think this clip from that RY brought up, I could probably show real quick. Knock this out. Make everybody happy. One sec. I'm pulling it up right now, RY. If you want it that bad, you're going to get it. Here's my old clip from 4 years ago. October 4th, 2021. Right?
Time an astronaut goes on camera, pay very close attention to what their body language is telling you and what they're doing. A lot of times they're like, so fun! I'm having so much fun! Look! Whoa! Whoa! Hey, look at this object! Ah! You ever notice they're having so much fun? They're smiling so much. You have to ask yourself, are these people hamming it up for the camera? Or do they act like that the whole time they're in outer space? Let's just logically break down what it might be like to live in outer space on the International Space Station. It seems to me it would literally be like being in prison. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be in jail or prison? I would guess being on the International Space Station would be a lot like prison. You don't get to go outside and experience fresh air and walk around and experience the sun naturally. No, you would be unnaturally all the time floating around in an unnatural environment, causing you to always have to fucking stop yourself from bumping your head, stabbing your knee, or catching your foot on all that hanging wires. Now, every time I point out the hanging, dangling wires, people just shrug that off. Oh,
and the new space footage we're looking at, the Artemis II crew also has a bunch of wires hanging all over their heads and stuff. So it's like they took the same playbook from the International Space Station and then reused it for this new moon mission. So the inside of the Artemis II capsule looks very similar to the inside of the International Space Station. A lot of hanging, dangling wires and shit for people to accidentally catch their hands and feet on, right? It's all cluttered, right? Makes no sense that the electronics would be out hanging and dangling like that. Of course.
Oh, what do you know? You're not an electrician. I'm not an electrician, but every electrician I've ever talked to says all those hanging, dangling wires are fucking crazy. Could you imagine all those hanging, dangling wires in your car or in your house? You'd be pretty pissed off if you bought a new car and there were a bunch of fucking hanging, dangling wires everywhere. No, but in the International Space Station, perfectly cool, perfectly acceptable. Hanging, dangling wires everywhere. No one ever catches their feet on the dangling wires. Never happens. No one ever accidentally, while going down one of those hallways, ever accidentally catches their foot on one of those dangling fucking wires and rips it out of the side of the wall. You know why? They're professional astronauts. They know how to go down the tunnel just perfectly down the middle every single time so that they never, ever fucking rip any wires out of any walls. Never. They never once, ever fucking once.
All right. That's actually not the video that I was talking about. So Holden looked, I actually went back right now while that was playing and found the video that I was talking about. That video right there was back when I used to drink. And so I was a little bit inebriated in that video, which is why I was talking about the dangling wires, man, right? So I was a little inebriated in that video, not going to lie, right? But the video that I was talking about, I actually went and found. Here it is right here. It's this one right here.
And it doesn't look like there's any tension visible. It looks like they're smiling and goofing off. It really doesn't look like there's any tension up there in the International Fake Station. Oh, excuse me, Space Station. And you gotta love this shot. Isn't it awesome?
Here it is. So this is the video where I specifically address why they do this hand sign thing right here. And so earlier, when somebody asked about the hands and why they do this stuff, and I said that I had made a video about it. This is the one right here. It's called NASA Secret Hand Sign. Russians board ISS wearing Ukraine colors, right? So here's Russians getting on the International Space Station wearing Ukraine colors. And then you got this hand sign right here. So this was the video I was talking about.
Awesome how when they're all supposed to be floating around, they all stay just still enough so that they can get this perfect picture together. And look at that fella in the middle. Who does he look like? To me, that looks like a carbon cut copy of Scott Kelly. That's basically like the Russian version of Scott Kelly. And look at the way he's holding his wrist. Is that natural to anyone? Does anyone stand holding their wrist like that? Is there any reason to hold your wrist like that? For those of us who are, down here on Earth, it looks highly unnatural to just hold your wrist for no reason. So why is it when you're on the International Space Station, you gotta hold your wrist like that?
And look at this guy holding his wrist next to Scott Kelly. Speak of the devil. Looks a little funky to me. Now, are they trying to conceal the wiring? Is there a technological reason why these guys are holding their wrist to make it easier to fake space? Or are they blatantly giving a signal, a super secret hand sign, if you will, paying homage to the evil overlords which have these puppets dangling on strings like a bunch of dingle berries? Ooh. All right, y'all, let me know in the comments section below. What do you think is up with this whole holding the wrist situation? Is it to conceal the wires, or is it some sort of hand signal that they're deliberately doing, or is it some other reason? Fill me in on what you think it is, and I will see you guys in the next awesome video. Peace. All right. So there you go. Somebody specifically wanted to know about the hand thing there, and so I had talked about that in the past. There you go. Old video talking about how they float like this, right? Like, yeah, this is how I naturally will exist in space. I don't want my arm to go floating away, so I better hold it right here. I don't want no arm to just float away, so you gotta hold it in place. RY said, Jake, thanks for showing the hands video, which I was originally referring, and thanks, Holden Smith. There you go. Glad I could catch you up on the old video. Now everybody's all caught up. All right. Good times. So they have fake flat earthers out there reacting to the rocket launch and reacting to the images coming from Artemis. And then they have professional globe cucks there to scrutinize and quote unquote debunk the fake flat earthers, right? So they have government agents and criminals pretend to be flat earthers. And then they have guys like Simon Dan come along and debunk the flat earthers. So let me show you an example of what I'm talking about and how many views that this guy got and comments, and it's pretty disgusting. So I'll just point out how these shills, like what their job is, and where's it at? It's like 1 million views. Here it is. So Simon Dan did a video called "Two Flat Earthers Get Super Triggered Over the New Moon Mission." And then who's the two flat earthers that he shows? He shows David Weiss and Mark Sargent. So he has David Weiss right here and Mark Sargent, who are both shills, by the way. Actors who pretend to be flat earthers, right? They're the most obvious shills, both these guys, especially Mark Sargent. Mark Sargent was in the Netflix documentary that was basically a hit piece on the flat earth subject. Dave is the creator of the Flat Earth tracking app, which tracks the flat earthers who download it and then data mines its users. So these are two of the biggest shills. And so they do a stream reacting to the rocket launch. And then Simon Dan gets to come along and do the debunk video.
Book club. Now, the cutoff for the next box in May is April the 10th. If you want to...
What sort of shielding are you using to get through the slack?
Artemis takes a path that avoids the worst areas, so the total exposure is only around an hour. And lead isn't even ideal for this type of radiation anyway. The spacecraft uses layered materials and smart design.
Well, there it is. Thought you could sneak it past me. So he throws up his 666s, and this guy reads a teleprompter. He doesn't write his own material. Simon Dan does not make these videos. Simon Dan is just a person who reads a script. I'm positive they basically put a script up on screen for him to read on a teleprompter, and then he reads it, and they do a bunch of takes. So usually he'll say like a sentence, and then there's a cut, and then he says another sentence, and then there's a cut, and he doesn't deliver the material as if he's the one who fucking came up with it or wrote it. And so that's how I know for sure he's just reading someone else's script. And so this guy has sponsors and a team who helps him do this. And I'm sure they handle all the thumbnails and the uploads. So I'm pretty sure this guy, Simon Dan, is quite literally just a figurehead, a globe cuck figurehead. And all he does is just read the script. Whether he believes it or not, I don't know. I think he probably does, because he's an insufferable twat who thinks he's smart. But he doesn't actually create these videos himself. This is all an operation. So they have the fake flat earthers, Mark Sargent and Dave Weiss react to the rocket, and then they can have Simon Dan come in and quote unquote debunk them. Personal incredulity. Dave Weiss and Mark Sargent clearly think that the earth is flat because of personal incredulity, and that's why I'm here to educate you. But first, today's sponsor is Raycon earbuds, right? So typical shit. And you know how much views Simon Dan will get talking about how the flat earthers are triggered? 1.5 million views in 3 days, 52,000 thumbs up. Yeah, right. Over 17,000 comments. First comment: the only thing flat earthers have to fear is sphere itself. See, this is a fucking operation from top to bottom, this type of shit. The huge inflated view count, huge inflated amount of thumbs up. They make it look like this is beloved content coming from a well-respected content creator. So they make Simon Dan look like he's making videos that people love and are really enjoying. And then the first comment is just like gaslighting to any flat earther who might read this first comment. And then any globe earther, anybody who believes in a globe earther, or anybody who believes in a globe earth who reads this will think it's super clever and funny. The only thing flat earthers have to fear is sphere itself. So funny, right? So this is a well-crafted psychological operation, and they want to trick the common sheeple into believing that this is all naturally going down, right? That NASA is really going back to the moon, and flat earthers are really triggered, and Simon Dan is making fun of these triggered flat earthers. And let's all make fun of these triggered flat earthers who don't believe that we're going back to the moon. See? And of course, he'll probably make a video about me next. So that guy's made probably 10 videos about me. So it wouldn't shock me if he, or not he, but his handlers, his fucking creative crew will steal some of my clips from tonight or my last video. I'm almost going to make you a guarantee. At some point, he's going to drop a new video with me, and he's going to take like little snippets, and then he's just going to claim that I have a personal incredulity and that I'm wrong. And then he's just going to repeat the scientific accepted rebuttal or excuse, and he's going to call that a debunk. And then everyone in the comments section is going to just say a bunch of stupid shit and stroke each other off and drink each other's jizz. That's what's going to happen. Isn't it awesome to be a truth teller, knowing that that motherfucker is going to make a video about me and he's going to get a shitload of views? You guys check it out. So that dude, Simon Dan, is probably going to have a script prepared for him and delivered to him. And all he's going to do is just read it. And he's going to get paid to do that. And that content is going to be about me being wrong and stupid and crazy. So there's professionals who snip my content to push the notion that it's really cool to make fun of people like me. Let's all laugh at the personal incredulity of this flat earther Jake who doesn't believe in the Artemis II missions. Right? Coming soon. Mark my words. I would be shocked if he doesn't snip my content and make a fucking video about me. I mean, he's already made probably 10 videos about me in the past. Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning says, wake 'em up Wednesday. Also, what's up, RY? Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning, best damn air duct cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. And no, he did not pay me to say that. Or did he? Thank you, Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning. Appreciate that, bro. Anyone needs their ducts cleaned? This is the guy to call right here. He does the air duct cleaning for the White House. Got personally endorsed by Trump. RY says, at Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning is in the house. I need a Trump impression promoting the hiring of Lint Away cleaning the space dust out of the air ducts of the LUNAR Stadium. So I got to tell you, not only does Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning do a marvelous job keeping all of our ducts spotless here at the White House, but he's also in charge of keeping the air ducts clean at the LUNAR Stadium that we recently built on the moon. This guy does a wonderful job. He gets my personal endorsement and recommendation. As you know, I don't normally recommend or promote Lint Away cleaning services. Quite frankly, I have more important things to do usually. But in this case, he does such a magnificent job that I am hereby announcing that I am in a partnership with Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning. We're going to be doing dual promotional work here. I promote Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning, and he keeps all of our ducts spotless and free from lint. So it's actually quite the trade-off here. There you go. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. And it's also amusing at the same time. All right. You know what I think you guys need? I think you guys need a quick musical break while I use the restroom, and then we shall return and continue, and I'll catch up on any super chats that I missed. But right now, I'm going to give you guys a quick little musical break. We're going to do a little number that I came up with years ago called "There Are No Satellites in Space." This is the official music video. Enjoy.
Scott Kelly, he's a fucking liar. He's hanging around in a harness in front of a green screen. That bald fucking liar's in space. And you can see it written all over his blood red face. There are no satellites in space. NASA never went to the moon. There are no astronauts in space. So you assume there are no satellites in space. NASA never went to the moon. There is no space station in space. NASA never went to the moon. The image you see in the telescope, it might be a hologram. Have you ever heard of this thing called Project Bluebeam? Cause you'd be amazed what they're actually doing with all of our money. They're keeping us locked away from the land of milk and honey. There are no satellites in space. NASA never went to the moon. There are no astronauts in space. So you assume there are no satellites in space. NASA never went to the moon. There is no space station in space. NASA never went to the moon. You can't fool me, cause I'm too slick. You can't fool me, cause my mind's too quick. Bitch, so suck on my dick. Cause I'm not falling for your corny cartoons. Because I am not a well-indoctrinated. On no satellites in space. NASA never went to the moon. There are no astronauts in space. So you assume there are no satellites in space. NASA never went to the moon. There is no space station in space. NASA never went to the moon. No, they didn't. Not even fucking once, y'all. I said, yes, I never went to the moon. No, they didn't. Not even fucking once, y'all. I said, yes, I never went to the moon. To the moon. To the moon. Yes, I never went to the moon. To the moon. To the moon. Yes, I never went to the moon. To the moon. To the moon. Yes, I never went to the moon.
There it is. No satellites in space from yours truly. Oh, man, I should probably come up with a few more bangers like that. It's one of those songs that stands the test of time, right? Still fun to listen to. All right. At least I think it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I'm sure maybe a few of you have never seen it before. So hopefully you guys who've never seen it before liked it. And then I know a bunch of you who have seen it before. I already know you love that shit. So there you go. Gage P9 says Neil deGrasse or Neil deAss Tyson says explaining how big of a jackass he is. Well, tiny minds who think that the earth is flat have a hard time grasping the outer concepts of science and what it really means to have true intelligence. Those of us who know that the earth is much bigger than what any tiny flat earther's mind might think. Those of us who know how big this expanse called outer space really is, we can truly grasp a real level of intelligence. We're not preoccupied by tiny things on the ground to occupy tiny brains who think that the earth is flat. And some people think I'm a jackass. Those who have tiny minds might be amused by my eyebrows. However, as long as I'm cracking myself up, I don't care what you guys think, because I'm a freaking jackass. It's probably what he would say about that. RY says, Jake, to prove to people you're not a Dem, just because you don't like Trump, can you please showcase your Joe Biden children music video? All right, just for you, sir. I'll break out the Joe Biden loves to touch children music video, because it is short. It's a quick video, and it will prove I am not a libtard. I'm not a Democrat, because no Democrat would ever possibly make a video showing Joe Biden liking to touch children, right? But I have made such video, so therefore I can't possibly be a Dem. Here it is. Just for you, buddy.
Joe Biden loves to touch little children. Joe Biden loves to grow up on some women. Joe Biden loves to touch little children. Joe Biden loves to touch on the women. Well, creepy Joe, he's losing all control, making all the women and children feel uncomfortable. He whispers in her ear, tell her something she don't want to hear. She pulls away from Joe and fear. Joe Biden loves to touch little children. Joe Biden loves to touch upon some women. Joe Biden loves to touch little children, even on TV. Joe Biden, well, he's touch upon some women inappropriately. Joe Biden loves to touch little children, even on TV. Joe Biden loves to touch all the women inappropriately. Joe Biden loves to touch little children, even on TV. Joe Biden loves to touch all the women inappropriately. Joe Biden.
Never before has an individual taken something that's so inappropriate and made it sound so sexy. I mean, come on. All right. Got a super chat that came in as well, looking for another musical piece of genius, or should I say a lot of genius. I got a lot of genius, and that's why right now I'm going to show you guys some of my Return of the Doink freestyle acapella. Goes like this. Whoa, oh, no. Oh, yeah. Well, I tried to tell you so. Yes, I did, but I guess you didn't know. And they be messing with field goals, and there's magnets in the posts. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real. You lied to me. Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real. You lied to me. Now I cry. Now I cry, cry, cry. Return of the doink. It is return of the doink. Come on, return of the doink. And another ball hits the pole. Return of the doink. Once again, return of the doink. Return of the doink. And another ball hits the pole. There you go. Acapella, return of the doink. And it ain't even football season. You guys know I don't normally break out return of the doink if it ain't football season. But when you're hooking up the donations, if you're forking over the super chat cheddar, well, that's the one thing that gets me in the mood. RY says Jake to... Oh, wait, I already read that one. All right. I was about to play Joe Biden gonna touch little children's again. All right. Okay, you know what? We have just enough time. If any sports fans are watching, or if Lady D is still watching, she sent a super chat earlier praising me for debunking Fittest Flat Earther and destroying his shill ass. So tonight I wanted to show you guys Fittest Flat Earther has made the claim that LeBron James is 80s quarterback from the Eagles and Randall Cunningham. So tonight we're going to show that real quick, and I'm going to show you my quick debunk of that video as well. So we'll go ahead and knock that out real quick before we shut it down tonight. Going to do a little shill busting right here, right now. And you guys already know it's going to be ridiculous because Fittest Flat Earther is going to make the claim that LeBron James, like the second most famous basketball player of all time behind Michael Jordan, is a mediocre 80s quarterback, 80s, early 90s quarterback. All right, here we go. The fruitiest flat brainer.
I shared it with the whole world. Only I don't think he's a birdie at all. I think he's got wings of a different feather. What do those look like too? Kind of look like angels' wings, right? And here's angels' wings, and back there looks like angels' wings, and even here, a little.
Yeah, there's an artist depiction of him having wings, but those aren't real wings, dipshit. So just because there's an artist depiction of LeBron with wings doesn't mean he's a fallen angel. Right? So he's going to start talking about how LeBron's a fallen angel because look, he has had depictions of him with wings.
A little more discreet, but angels' wings. And maybe you have, and maybe you haven't seen my other videos where I've shown that athletes used to be other people like Michael Phelps. Mike L. Phelps used to be H.P. Lovecraft, and Mike L. Jordan used to be Jackie Robinson. And
Michael Jordan used to be Jackie Robinson, you guys.
And Tom Brady used to be Larry Hagman from I Dream of Jeannie. And
Tom Brady used to be Larry Hagman from I Dream of Jeannie. You guys, there were people that said I've misjudged Tyler, Fittest Flat Earther, and that just because he has one video saying that Prince is David Blaine doesn't mean I should discredit or discount all the rest of his work that's totally on point. So every time I pull up one of his videos, it's just equally as retarded or more retarded than Prince's David Blaine claim, right? So here is no different. He's not just making the claim that LeBron James is Randall Cunningham. In the same video, he's also saying Michael Jordan was Reggie Jackson and Tom Brady was some guy from I Dream of Jeannie.
Used to be Jackie Robinson, and Tom Brady used to be Larry Hagman from I Dream of Jeannie, and Mick E. Mantle is now Christian McCaffrey.
Mickey Mantle, the old Hall of Fame baseball player, he is now Christian McCaffrey. So obviously the age difference is going to be the issue here. A lot of the people who he's talking about are either old or like dead, right? So a lot of the people he's saying, you know, they're either old or dead. So they have to shapeshift somehow, right? So here's the problem with the video that he's making is that Randall Cunningham is still alive. So if he says that like you know, an old dead baseball player became a basketball player, you know, afterward, you know, like it's still retarded, but I guess that makes more sense. Whereas if you say that LeBron James is Randall Cunningham, well, the problem is Randall Cunningham's still alive. And so how's Randall Cunningham going to shapeshift back and forth between LeBron James and a man in his 60s or 70s?
I've done a lot of them, but it was this one right here that tipped me off how Michael Jordan went back to playing baseball, kind of like his days as Jackie Robinson. So I thought to myself, what other sports did LeBron play? And well, LeBron was a standout football player. He played wide receiver and quarterback. It was his first love. Here's LeBron. And I couldn't help but notice something when I saw LeBron wearing these colors and that number. It reminded me an awful lot of this guy, Randall Cunningham, who was on the Eagles and wore green and white and number 12.
Oh yeah, that's LeBron James, you guys. LeBron James is Randall Cunningham. And of course, if you want some proof you can hang your hat on, he's got that for you. Heavenly Father is blessing this man with some really wonderful truth. This is really going to open your eyes to what's really going on.
And well, do you ever take a look at them side by side?
No.
No, I mean like...
No one ever has, except for you and your handlers, because you guys are fucking shills and liars. Nobody's ever looked at those two side by side and thought that maybe LeBron James was fucking Randall Cunningham from the 80s and 90s. Dude, that's ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Really take a look at them side by side and see how similar their eye and eyebrow placement is and how similar their nose looks, and even their underbite looks exactly the same. I wonder if they have any similar markings on their face.
Oh, of course they do.
I don't know, you know, just a birthmark right there with another one that you can see right there, right under it. You see how those are.
You guys, he always finds a matching freckle. So they're magical shapeshifters, but they can't magically get rid of the freckles. Their shapeshifting technology ability is unable to get rid of the freckles. And he zooms in on every celebrity's face, every celebrity and athlete who ever existed. Fittest Flat Earther spends all of his free time zooming in on their face, and he finds these matches. No one helps him with this. He does all of this himself. There's no team of handlers who give him this horse shit to read. Oh no. This guy, Tyler, he's such a wonderful man of Jesus. He spends all of his waking hours looking for these freckles, and he always finds a match every day so that he can show us. Wow, what a fucking great man of God this Tyler is. I'm so glad he's here to save us from the evil elites with this wonderful truth.
In the exact same spot, right in the exact same corner of the eye.
Now, Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning might think that I am the most talented YouTuber ever, but there's people out there who watch, you know, Fittest Flat Earther who would disagree. So there's people out there who watch this guy and believe what he's saying when he points at these supposed freckles and calls this truth and proof that LeBron James is Randall Cunningham. There's people who fall for this, right? I know there's bot comments and sock accounts that are pretending to be followers and fans of his, but there's also people that are dumb enough who are being duped by it. And you know what? I can't save those people. Those are lost souls who I cannot save. If you're dumb enough to be duped by what this man is doing, and you're probably too lost for me to save, right?
What an interesting thing that they would look so much alike and have the same facial placement and have the same gap in their mustache and underbite and nose. Oh, and you want to know what Randall did after football? Well, he serves as a pastor and he considers the Bible as his playbook. You know, the Bible in one of the most popular Bibles is the King James version. You know, the King James version.
Bible, King James, Randall Cunningham. It's all coming together now. You guys, stick around. I went and found footage of current Randall Cunningham. He's an old ass dude who doesn't really look like LeBron James at all. I'm going to show you that next. Okay. RY says, Jake, you shape-shifting Archon. You miss Lintaway's chat. Also, can you please shape-shift into solo bass, Jake, and play us an outro song before you go? I'll have to pull up a solo bass Jake video because I don't have my bass hooked up right now, and for me to hook it up and then tune it up and then slap it, I'll probably just have to pull up a video of me playing live at an open mic or something. It'll probably be a better performance than if I tried to hook it up and tune up and play right now. I'm actually getting tired, and I'm going to wrap up the stream real quick. But before I go, I will play a song of mine from when I performed live in the past. And I think I just read Lintaway's super chat. So I might have caught up on the super chat that you're talking about that I missed. I think it was this one right here. He said, Jake is the most talented YouTuber ever, right? So yeah, I saw that one. Thank you, Lintaway, for the super chat, buddy. All right. Let's finish up grilling this shill, and then we'll wrap up the stream with one last song from yours truly, and we'll call it a night.
Did you ever see when the Miami Heat, which have nothing to do with flapping wings, did the Harlem Shake? It's an interesting thing. It almost looks like an angel flapping his wings right before King James. The face in the exact same place. Imagine that. You see it right here and right here.
This is typical of Tyler. He'll point towards something that's like nothing. It's not a scar. It's not a dimple. It's not a pimple. And he'll point to nothing and he'll be like, see? So what he's doing is like lying and pointing and seeing if he can get you to believe, right? See right here? See right here? Identical. You can see the symmetry. And then if you really look, you're like, dude, you're not really pointing at anything on the right, bro. Like this and this, like, come on, dude. Really? Is this how ridiculous your fan base is? Yep. That's how ridiculous they are. See? Right here. See how this piece of skin looks an awful lot like this piece of skin. They're shapeshifters. Yep, another typical Fittest Flat Earther video. Hey, you know what? It's almost like all his videos are ridiculous. Yeah. So there were people who said that I cherry-picked one example of when he said that Prince is David Blaine. So I was accused of cherry-picking one bad example and then discrediting all the rest of this poor fella's work. So now I've shown you guys different examples where he's saying LeBron James is Randall Cunningham. And then I showed another one where he said that Jay Leno is Jake Paul. Remember last week or the week before, I showed one of his videos. He says Jake Paul, a 75-year-old man, or excuse me, Jay Leno, a 75-year-old man, is Jake Paul, who's 29 years old. Right? Quite the age difference. They're shapeshifters. So his excuse is they're fallen angels and they're shapeshifters. So Jay Leno can be Jake Paul because they both have a big chin. And so here, Randall Cunningham, who's way older than LeBron James. Oh, no, they're the same because fallen angels and shapeshifters. And, oh, yeah, look, see this piece of skin.
See those? Right here and right there. What a coincidence that they have the same facial features and their faces are symmetrical. And Dell's wife. Do you think maybe
they have the same wife? You guys, they always have the same wife. That's how you know he's not telling you a lie, because he's matching the wives as well.
Their wives might look similar. Do you think? You think maybe? Well, here's Randall.
Oh my God. That's a fucking dead ringer. The lady on the left and the lady on the right have to be the same lady. Of course. Look at the symmetry.
Wife. I want you to take specific notice of the mouth and lips, especially the lower lip. And again, the exact same symmetry. Randall as well.
Yes, this bug-eyed lady totally is a dead ringer for this younger lady here. Those are the same lady. Same wife. Guys, they can shapeshift. They have this magical out-of-this-world ability to shapeshift, but their wives still look similar, and they can't get rid of the freckles and the scars. That's just one thing their ability won't allow to happen. But this guy, he's so clever that he sees through all this deception, and he's able to find the matches. He wakes up every day and he matches these people up. Gotta love this Tyler Hansen, right? Doing the Lord's work. This is a real Christian right here, you guys. According to Christians, this guy's a Christian.
Wife. LeBron's wife. And you know, one other thing that these angels love, they love duality. And LeBron's a big pouting baby, but it's an act. It's all a big show. And in my opinion, it's an act to get you to either love him or hate him, because either way, it takes attention away from our Heavenly Father.
There you go. Taking attention away from our Heavenly Father. All right. So his claim, LeBron James is Randall Cunningham. So I went and found footage of Randall Cunningham from as most recent as possible. And he's an old dude that doesn't look like LeBron James hardly at all. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what modern Randall Cunningham looks like. And so that means LeBron James has to shapeshift in between this guy right here, Randall Cunningham, and his current version of LeBron James. So he has to pull double duty. According to Fittest Flat Earther, because Randall Cunningham's still alive, here he is right here from 2 months ago. So according to Fittest Flat Earther, this is LeBron James, and he shapeshifts back and forth between the two.
The defensive lineman. Because I wanted to know, if I have to get out of there, I need to know the percentages of me getting out of the pocket and keeping myself healthy. So I was trying to stay healthy because I was only 6'4.5", 196 pounds when I went into the NFL. So I was one of the lighter guys. You know, I wasn't Big Ben in Pittsburgh, you know, with this nice physique. I was just a skinny dude. And they used to say, hey, they used to compare me to Robinson. And I'm like, no, I don't play basketball.
Oh, David Robinson.
David Robinson, yeah. I'm like, no, that's not
All
me.
right.
I'm like, dude.
So this dude is listed as 6'3". Just so happens to be a bit of a Masonic number. What are the odds? So he's sorry, that's not what I meant. He's listed as 63 years old. 63. So, you know, 666. So he's listed as 63 years old. That's what I meant to say. So he does look like a man in his 60s. So do you guys think that this is LeBron James that we're looking at, and that LeBron James shapeshifts back and forth between this man, because Fittest Flat Earther doesn't claim that these celebrities wear masks and disguises. It's his claim that they're fallen angels and that they shapeshift. So he's not saying LeBron James puts on a hyper realistic mask in order to be Randall Cunningham, or Randall Cunningham puts on a hyper realistic mask in order to be LeBron James and pretend to be a man much younger, right? Decades younger. No, what he claims is they're fallen angels and they're shapeshifters. So according to Fittest Flat Earther, this 63-year-old man that we're looking at is LeBron James.
Skinny dude, and they're wondering. They used to say, "Hey," they used to compare me to Robinson, and I'm like, "No, I don't play basketball."
Oh, David Robinson.
David Robinson,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I'm like, "No, that's not me." I'm like, "Do we really look alike?" But it was because I was so slim.
Yeah, slim, long, slim. I'm gonna ask you about two guys.
Here he is, funny enough, talking about looking like another guy. Another basketball player. Weird. Adam says Randall Cunningham's longest punt was 91 yards, which he achieved in a game against the New York Giants on December 3rd, 1989. He punted? He's a quarterback. Did he punt in that game for some reason? That's news to me. I don't know if that's true or not. Either way, doesn't matter whether it is true or not. All right. And it looks like I got a super chat referencing my parody video about the Fittest Flat Earther. So beings it's only like a minute and a half long. RY says your Fittest Flat Earther Elmo Grover video is spot on. Well, beings it's only like a minute and a half long, I'll go ahead and show it right here, right now, just for you, buddy. Let me whip it out real quick. All right. So now that Fittest Flat Earther is fresh in everyone's mind, it's a perfect opportunity to show you guys my parody video. If you haven't seen it, you will enjoy this. I promise.
When you know that the whole world is scripted, like I do, then you can see right through these puppets. See this guy right here? Looks an awful lot like this guy right here.
They're the same puppet. They're shapeshifters. They're vampires.
So clearly you can see the symmetry between this puppet right here and this puppet right here. And obviously, in a side-by-side comparison, it's not too hard to tell. These are the same puppet. Now, if you're going to want to see some proof that you can hang your hat on, look no further than right here. This little piece of fur, an exact match for this piece of fur. Proof that Elmo is Grover.
They're the same puppet.
And of course, this is just for entertainment purposes only. I don't really believe any of this. Or do I?
There you go. Boom shakalaka. Got an LOL and an LOL and an LOL coming in here. Got ourselves some laughing emojis. Abnormal loves it. I told you you guys would like it. Those of you who've already seen it, you already know it's a lot of genius. That Jake the Awake, his parody of the fittest flat brainer or whatever his name is. It's a lot of genius, that guy. That Jake the Awake. I've always said he's got a lot of genius in his near future. All right. All right, let me go back in time and show you guys an old school performance from a long time ago. We're going to go back in time. 13 years ago. Holy cow.
I was born a day up the straight trip, but I've been on the line. I've been locked up all of my life, that I can't deny. Going to school, getting my education, having sex so fun. But you got to find yourself before you find someone. Let's give it up. I'm a West Coast funky. West Coast funky. West Coast funky. West Minnesota, born and raised, program harassment, this melody, chilling out back, so relaxing our crew, shooting some people at Sad Street, calling gas things up to no good, starting to make a trouble in my neighborhood. One little bit of my mom got scared, I wrote to auntie and uncle about where I was before I grabbed and when it came near. Let's put the first shot of ice in a beer. Anything I can say this cat was where I never get a home to Bel Air. I'm to the house, 7 right, going to my cubby, home smiling, or I'm looking at the kingdom finally there. Telling you don't need the prison Bel Air good time. Every fucking time, West Coast funky! Oh shit, West Coast funky! Oh, West Coast funky! Thank you very much. And solo bass Jake. I got some free tickets to a Fat Cat show starring Dan Belleran and many more. If you guys want to come watch that, my band Z Strain's playing in Ripon on Saturday at the Main Street Inn. And that's free if you're over 21.
There I am promoting my show at the open mic. See, I'd go to the open mic and then I'd promote for my band at the bar, right? Oh, there you go. Old open mic performance from 13 years ago. Holy shit, where does the time go? Wow. All right, and I had a couple super chats come in just before we wrap it up. We got Matt Moses. He says Russell Brand and Elmo on the moon snorting lines and getting high off space dust.
Elmo has never been more fucked up in all of Elmo's life.
Right now, Elmo and I are getting high off of our fucking tits right now. Not only are we snorting copious amounts of cocaine, which is, of course, a hell of a drug, but we're also mixing it with moon dust, and we're getting this new euphemistic, euphoric, atmospheric sense that's happening. It's like a new type of high that neither one of us have ever experienced before. Elmo, can you explain exactly how this is making you feel?
Elmo can't feel his face right now. What? This is crazy. Is this really happening? Whoa! Uh-oh. Elmo thinks he just might have shit him's pants. Whoa!
There you go. That's what that would look like. I have to ask you, now that I'm ballooned off my tits off of space dust, is there a piece of hay stuck within the crevices of my horse teeth? There you go. Matt Moses coming in with some Elmo Russell Brand action request Jackson for that ass. 13 Jurino says, Davey 504, slap your bass. He have the same mole and the same. Oh, yeah. So Jake the Awake and Davey 504, they both like to play the bass. And as you can see, they both have the same dimple. Right here, you can see this faint mark on Jake's face. And right here on Davey's face, you can clearly see the same mark. Now, if you want proof you can hang your hat on, here's a very similar slap bass riff that they both played. Heavenly Father's guiding me. There you go. There you go. Knocking out these super chats before we call it a night. And you guys, I had a lot of fun tonight. Hope you guys did too. I know, the Artemis II topic is getting a little old now. This is like the third time we've went to the well. So by next week, the Artemis II shit will be over and we'll move on to the next psychological operation. Pretty sure everyone will be done talking about it by next week. So this is our final farewell to the Artemis topic, most likely. Unless on their re-entry, the crew blows up and dies. There's not going to be much point in talking about them next week, and they'll probably move on to the next fake story. So, hope you guys enjoyed the Artemis II arc. Wonder what the next fake story that they have in store for us is going to be. If you guys enjoyed the Artemis II fun we had here, breaking down these fake space missions and whatnot, go ahead and hook your boy with a thumbs up. If you had a fun night here, please show your appreciation now before you take off and hook a brother up with a thumbs up. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Just going to make sure I got all caught up on all the super chats before we sign off for the night. All right, it looks like I caught up on all the super chats, so I'm going to go ahead and me and Ralphie, who's right here, we're going to sign off. Thank you for hanging out with me on another wacky, wild Wake 'em Up Wednesday. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Go back and watch the replay if you came late and missed any part of the stream. And I will see you guys in the next video or the next live stream or whenever I see you next. Thank you to everybody who sent a super chat. I really, really appreciate all of the donations. And when I go back and watch the replay, I'll read all of the messages that came in. I'll see who was here and I'll see who said what. So until next time, this is your favorite content creator and comedian and mine saying bye-bye. I love you guys. Peace out and good night.